hello.
Well, hello.
Fancy meeting you here.
Fancy meeting all of us here.
We meet again.
A different cast. What are you talking about?
What?
Wow.
Wow. Hello.
Something's a little different.
Hmm.
A little different, but kind of familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same, but different.
Okay, well now I feel like we have a little bit of awkwardness in there, so let's begin with the intro.
Perfect.
College socialization,
Lay it on us.
Get it out. Get it out of your system right now. Okay.
We're on a college campus.
Yeah. Hello, friends, and welcome to GutPunchRP, a tabletop role-playing games streaming channel focused on inclusivity in gaming spaces, as well as charity. We are raising money this evening for I Need Diverse Games. It would be totally dope if we could raise 500 in the show tonight. That would be amazing. If you would like to donate, you could type !donate into the chat. That will take you to the link for our Tiltify event. If you would like to learn more about this organization, you can type !charity into the chat, and that will take you to give you more information about I Need Diverse Gaming. Each month we give away lovely dice sets to random donors, and just so you're aware, because this is a charity channel, all the money that comes in from bits and subs goes back into the channel. It's used to buy the lovely, prizes that we give away, as well as upgrades to the channel. Additionally, we are sponsored by tabletoploot.com. You can type !tabletoploot into the chat to go to their website. You can use the code GutPunchRP on checkout to get 15% off your purchase. At the break, which will roughly be around 8 or 9:30 Eastern, because I can do things in Eastern times. We'll take a break, and if you are in the chat, we'll come up with some code that you can enter, and you'll be entered in a chance to win a $10 off gift code to Tabletop Loot. If you'd like to support the channel but don't have monies to provide, that's fine. Just hanging out is all that we ask for, but there are other ways that you can support the channel, such as following us here on Twitch, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. All of our old shows are on our YouTube channel, so if you want to catch up on our Monday night D&D campaign or any of the other one-shots that we've done on the channel, you can watch that. Liking, sharing the Go Live tweet, it really, really, really does help. Yeah, so if you've joined us for the first time, we are doing a sequel to our Monsterhearts one shot that we did back in May. We're going to be picking up right where we left off, and I'm going to kick it over to Vic.
Hey. All right, so I think it's my turn to say, do we want to do a recap?
Lay it on us.
All right.
I think we do.
So last we left our players, our performers, our students, all on the Hemlock University East Campus, attending a psychology course as an elective. One of those like pesky liberal arts electives that you absolutely have to do to graduate. It was not optional. Dr. Vega, an interesting character, kind of an asshole, was speaking to our students and gave them an assignment to do some research on nature versus nurture and the environment that they find themselves in. Very quickly, all of these students were able to find a book that burned Michael and Bernie's hands, and then got into a couple of altercations. Some romantic, some confrontational, but all around pretty dramatic as they filtered their way via our favorite druggie Hunter to Michael's apartment for a party. At this party, Rhea, Kate, Kendra, Michael, and Lilith all banded together, some of them perhaps linking up in unexpected ways. But Lilith started to see visions of the room she used to sleep in, and the person that she was. Very quickly, they were alerted to the fact that Bernie was currently in danger in a fountain in the center of this campus, all of them running over and sacrificing a piece of themselves in order to bring her and ultimately Lilith back. So, standing in the central water feature of this northeastern college, some of you soaking wet, some of you without your personal items, some of you a little love-struck, we find ourselves. I'm gonna go ahead and start at the bottom here and say, Kendra, what does your character look like, and what would she like to do in this present moment?
Well, in this present moment, we all had our eyes set on Mr. Vega, or Dr. Vega, and we were going to tear him apart. So when the Dean of Students came out and grabbed him and took him away, we went for him.
Okay.
I have Haley's phone, because mine got thrown into the fountain, and I'm looking for answers.
All right.
I'm not sated.
Okay. So Bernie's kind of shivering in the fountain, and all of you are kind of standing here, and you see the doors close themselves into the library where you all started, because the Dean of Students grabbed Dr. Vega by the scruff of his neck and pulled him all the way into the building. So you just see the corner of his boot disappearing behind this door before it shuts. Do you follow alone, or do you band together with all of your friends here?
I look around at the group, and I say, I don't think we're done here. And then I sort of just kind of motion them all to come with me, and without really paying mind to if they're following, I start making my way, thinking of course they're going to follow me.
Okay. Does anyone follow?
Question.
Like some answers too.
Did all of our items disappear, or are they still in the fountain?
They're still in the fountain, but the lights are still on and the water is still running. It is super loud over here and the water pressure is very high. But will you roll to stare into the abyss for me?
Absolutely. That's plus dark, right?
Plus dark.
So, 5.
All right. Out of the corner of your eye, as you kind of like look through the rippling surface of the water trying to find your necklace, something that means a lot to you, you sort of think for a second that maybe the water has gone dark. Almost like there's blood in it. Almost like it's filled with this inky black substance. But you blink and it's gone. You can pick your necklace up if you want.
I'm gonna pick my necklace up.
Yeah, if the items are still in there, Michael absolutely would try to retrieve his lighter.
Okay, you can pick them up. Does everybody do that?
I think Lilith is still in shock and wet in the fountain.
Kendra would go for the phone, but it'd be all waterlogged. So
Yeah,
she'd hand it
you-
off to Haley.
You pick up your phone. She just goes, I don't know if putting this in rice is going to do anything.
Well, you've got to figure something out.
Well, I have another phone. Do you want to borrow it again?
I mean, yeah. This one's yours now.
She pulls out an iPhone 6 and hands it to you. Listen,
Okay,
it's
retro.
all I've got.
Cute. No, it's retro. I kind of like it.
Okay. Kate, what does your character look like as she pulls this out of the fountain? And what does the necklace look like?
The Kate is tall, has blonde highlights, hair pulled back in a ponytail, very like kind of gothy punk vibes. A little bit of an aloof, don't fuck with me, but also sultry vibe to her. The necklace that she's pulling out is a like a leather cord, and that has some like bead on it, like just like it's just a plain cord, but then there's like some little glass beads that are it looks like maybe it was handmade.
Okay. So you bend down and pick up this necklace and kind of, feel the water kind of leaving the surface of it, and there's like, little trickles of it that sort of go down your arm as you kind of shake it off. And you overhear Michael say, "I want answers." Michael, what do you look like and what are you doing?
Michael is an average height guy, head to toe black, total just like rocking the goth look at all times. Often a leather jacket, probably right now, tousled dark hair, the whole sitch. He is trying to retrieve a silver lighter that's engraved with both a name and a logo. And I think while he's grabbing it real fast, he'll also offer a handout to Lilith, because she's sitting there looking bedraggled and kind of pathetic, so...
Lilith?
Lilith will, it will take her a second, because she is completely shocked, because I don't think she's ever, this is probably the first time she's felt wet and cold in a long time, and will then grab Michael's hand and try and get out of the water.
Yeah, he'll haul her out, and he's stronger than he looks.
She is probably ragdoll cat,
What is she
really
wearing?
hot punching.
What does she look like?
Lilith is average height as well, big black hoodie that really just obscures a lot of her features. Her hair is soaked, her makeup's running, it's just a mess.
Okay, so you take his hand and he whoop, pulls you real fast right out of the fountain. And Bernie is kind of sitting there and reaches her hand up too, with her bad dyed hair and her flannel sticking to her all over the place.
He notices this and kind of he's in a hurry because he wants to chase down the dean, so he does have to spend that second being fine, and then he'll pull Bernie out super fast too. But he is definitely interested in pursuing the dean and Vega, so he's not spending a lot of time checking on Bernie.
Okay, she pulls herself up and then she turns to you, Rhea, and just kind of goes, Are you okay?
I'm in the fountain, looking for my keys. I just pull them out. I'm like, oh yeah. Anyone need a? And I see everyone looking after it. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna follow them too?
I'm just golden retriever, turning my head back and forth.
Okay. What does Rhea look like, and what are her keys to?
The keys are to her cute little scooter that she rides around campus. She's 5'5", a little stocky, a very strong build, wearing head to toe athletic wear with her dark hair just kind of piled on top of her head.
All right. Did she completely get into the fountain, or is she just rooting around looking for her keys, trying to find them?
She would have hopped in.
All right. Wet up to your knees. Do you have Nike slides on? With socks?
Yeah, I would guess so.
Okay?
That sounds about right.
You can feel them the squeak starting to happen as you sort of look around for your keys, and it's easy enough for you to find them and sort of pull them out. Now, Kendra, you were marching back towards the school with your iPhone in hand. What do you do, and who follows?
Well, my gang is obviously behind me. With me, there's definitely Haley.
Yes.
And we ran to meet Hunter, who was at the fountain, right? Or at least
Hunter was not at the fountain. Hunter went home.
But sent us photos of the fountain.
You received a photo of the fountain.
Okay.
It was on your phone.
So is it just Haley and no Heidi?
It is Haley and Heidi.
And
but
Heidi,
no
okay.
Hunter. Yes. You've got two of your posse.
We're at least 3 deep.
Yes.
And I am,
Nice.
I run up and I check to see if the door is unlocked for the library.
It's totally unlocked.
I was ready to start pounding on the door. Okay, and then I just slowly push it open.
Okay,
And then
it is... Go ahead.
Before stepping in, I'm just gonna kind of look in and then look back and be well, I'm not going first. Looking back at the rest of the group.
Michael will push right by you and just like go in.
Good.
Okay.
If Michael starts moving forward, like the fact that he was her last visual, Lilith will kind of grab Bernie and try and follow after her.
Okay. Kate, Rhea?
Yeah, I'll put the necklace back on and then like start following.
Okay. Rhea, you notice that Kate is like tying this necklace back on, and it like takes her a second to do it, but like you can kind of tell that this is not what she was expecting to be doing that night.
I mean, I'm following. I am going with everyone.
All right. So, all of you walk up to this door, and Michael just like pushes his way immediately through. And down the hallway, Michael, you can hear the like slightly strained noises of someone being dragged. What do you do? Not emotionally, physically.
He'll take the moment just to glance back to see like that everybody is coming along. But yeah, I mean he'll chase the noise.
All right. The farther you walk in, and does everyone cross this threshold into the building?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the last one in? Rhea?
I say, Heidi, wait out here for Hunter. Call her and try and get her back here.
Okay, I can totally call her. She might be asleep. Do you want me to like SOS like she has to be here, or?
I mean, this is like the biggest thing that's going to happen on campus unless like we throw another one of our parties. So like, I think she should be here.
Okay, I'll give her a call. And you like watch her sort of pick her phone up, and like she's got her on speed dial, and she steps outside. So you enter. Rhea, you are the last person in.
Yes.
As you step in, Heidi is gonna kind of look at you and like wink, and then turn and be like, "Hey, Hunter, so," and start talking. Do you do anything as you step inside? And do you close the door?
I would like sort of smile awkwardly at the wink and then like awkwardly go inside and probably just like pause just inside the door and leave it open. If everyone else kept moving forward, I would just follow them. I wouldn't close it, no.
You wouldn't close it?
There's someone out there talking on the phone. I would figure they were coming in next.
Before you go, Haley's gonna reach out and like grab your hand and put her phone to her chest like this and like grab your wrist as you walk inside and just be like, just a word of warning. Be careful with Kendra. Like, do not mess with her emotions. She could destroy you, you know.
Cool. Thanks for the warning.
You're lucky you're hot. And she just sort of keeps talking to Hunter and is like, yeah, of course. No, that wasn't anybody. No, don't worry about it. Seriously, though, like, she says that you should be here, like, right now. Okay. And she keeps talking as you all go inside. There is a sliver of moonlight and streetlight that illuminates this hallway as you take a left turn and go downwards, following the sound of who you presume to be Mr. Vega being dragged down the hallway. Michael in the lead. Michael, it is very easy for you to make contact with Jean, and he sort of looks up at you and goes, I told all of you to go home, and he's like dragging this guy all the way back to what you would know is his office.
What the hell is going on? You expect us to just go home?
Yeah, I really can't have you kids in here. The building is supposed to be locked.
Yeah, we just watched you drag a man into the building. What is it you think we're gonna do?
Michael, I promise that I've got this. And he looks up and like makes eye contact with everybody else that's kind of following behind him, and then looks at him and sort of straightens up a little bit.
We receive a bunch of weird texts, the phones don't work, then they work again. What the hell is happening?
What do you mean you're receiving weird texts? I only texted you twice.
So you weren't the one sending them?
What are you talking about?
We got photos of the fountain, a strange fucking poem.
No, Michael, that wasn't me. I assumed that this was you. That's
Why would
I
it be
asked
me?
if you'd done this. I don't know. Some kind of trouble? Who knows, man? He starts, like, looks down at Dr. Vega and looks back up at you and goes, seriously, guys, I told you to go home. And he kind of pushes Dr. Vega up against the wall and, like, sits him up, like, propped up, so that he has a place to rest so that he can stand up and speak to you for a minute.
Oh, but this guy's been preying on random girls on campus.
Well,
And you knew?
that part... What faculty do with consenting adults is absolutely none of my business. And he looks at you very pointedly. However, I didn't know about that particular part until tonight. What I do know is that I have been able to get into this guy's office for 3 weeks, and, it's not like he's exactly speaking to me right now. We've been in contest for the position of dean for some months, actually.
So what, it's politics now? And what's with your lighter?
What do you mean, what's with my lighter?
The
He
thing
kind of
was-
looks at everybody behind you, and it's just like, what are you talking about?
I don't know, a bunch of our things were burning us. I thought we were supposed to put them in the fountain. It seemed like it did something.
He kind of addresses all of you and stands up and goes, so how much do all of you know?
Well, we're about to know all of it, because you're going to tell us.
I'll tell you everything that I can, but I'm gonna need to know what page you're on.
Think I died?
I know, sweetie. I'm sorry. Listen. A long time ago, before I got to this school, there's something in this building. And I've been trying to figure out what it is, but all of these faculty members made essentially a pact. And they've been feeding it. It runs on student misery. Late nights and stacking assignments and insane deadlines and tests worth 60% of your grade. Everybody gives something to keep this monster alive.
And what happens if you don't?
Well, either you make it through and you graduate and you pay tuition. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty shite bargain, but that's just me. But, whatever it is, all of the faculty are devoted to this thing. Somehow. And I've been trying to unravel it for years. I don't know if it's the energy or the building or the individuals who let themselves get possessed, but it seems like this guy here, and he kicks the bottom of Dr. Vega's shoes, has trying to up the ante a little bit. 5 years ago, unfortunately, decided that it would find the most depressed, most vulnerable students, and, well, that's why I said I'm sorry.
And that was Lilith.
Are you alive?
Well, I feel wet. I don't think I did before.
I'm glad to hear it. Listen, you wouldn't be able to see it. You wouldn't have been able to fix this if all of you didn't have something that you could give or something weird about you. There's no way for you to interact with this entity without something to give yourself. Most students pass through, so that's why I'm asking what page you're all on. Because my advice, get out.
You know I'm not going anywhere.
Well, it's not like I can stop you. But if there's anything you could do, it's... well, stay safe enough so that I can figure out what this guy is doing, what the hell is in his office. I'm gonna wait around here and see if he can have a chat. But I don't know how long it's gonna be until he wakes up. I'd prefer it if you guys weren't here when that happens.
So what, all these kids are just supposed to go back to their daily lives?
Well, that's the idea.
What kind of pact?
Something to keep the balance. That's all I know.
Well, I think I'm left with more questions now, so thank you for that.
Listen, I told you guys to go home. There's not too much to do here except try and see if we can get this thing out of the school, but I'm perfectly capable of doing that on my own.
What, and we're not?
I don't think you're entirely incapable, but when it comes to crazy, insane powers, I figure social media might not be the best way to approach it, madam.
You
I
have
figure you're some
no
solo
idea.
monster hunter.
He just sort of looks at Michael and, like, does a little nod. I can't tell you guys everything.
Well, we're already fucking involved. You might as well. Maybe we can do something about it.
Listen, as soon as I can get this asshole to wake up, I'll give you every answer that I can.
So Kendra at that point takes the opportunity to run over and just slap Dr. Vega real hard across the face, trying to wake him up. All right, buddy. Give him some shakes.
All right. I'm gonna need you to lash out physically.
Okay. 10.
Okay. When you slap him, when your hand makes contact with the side of his face, you feel like your hand almost went through him. And you hear him kind of groan. I need everyone here to roll to stare into the abyss for me. Kate, what you got?
14.
Okay.
Eight.
7.
3.
8.
I didn't want to jinx it. I was like, wow, these are some good dice this time. Starting off strong.
It's all right. It's all right. Still, as a group, all of you start to see Dr. Vega kind of roll his head back and forth, and Jean kind of looks at Michael and goes, You need to get out of here. And in the corners of the hallway, sort of seeping out from underneath the office doors and rolling towards you in a great wall of dark fog, this terrifying cloud of smoke starts to overtake every single one of you. And Dr. Vega's eyes snap open and they're completely black. And he starts to get to his feet. What do you do?
Is the read on Jean that he's like super confident that he'll be fine in this situation?
Absolutely not. He is super freaked out and actually jumps in between you and Dr. Vega at this point.
All right, everybody, time to get the fuck out of here.
All right. Before you can move, Dr. Vega is going to reach out, smack his hand around Jean's throat and squeeze. And you guys can choose to get out or save him.
Oh, Michael would try to save him.
All right.
We're saving.
Okay. Everybody that's trying to jump in and get your hands in, what do you do, Michael, first?
I mean, he'll grab Vega's arm and try to, like, get him to let go.
All right, lash out physically for me. Kendra, what are you doing?
I would love to do
I am also just grabbing him. I don't have the drop on him. He's not, on the ground for me to slap, so I'm just kind of, like, wailing on him from the side.
Okay. Is it, like, are you, like, slapping him slightly, or are you, like, trying to take this guy down?
I'm doing what I can. Maybe the heels go down onto the feet.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to take him down.
Okay. Lilith.
She's gonna try and kick an ankle
All right.
off of his balance.
Yes.
It's intensely difficult for you to, like, place where you are.
Mhm.
And you can kind of feel all the memories coming back to you, surging through your vision. It's hard for you to figure out where you are. You have a -1 to this roll if you want to lash out physically.
Okay. Yeah, she'll still do it, but
Okay. Michael, what you got?
I got a 10, so he's gonna grab the back of Jean's shirt and, like, pull backwards and Vega's arm and, like, push forwards and try to separate them.
Okay.
Very aggressively.
All right. Kendra, what you got?
4.
4. Okay. You go to kick out and step on his foot, and he pulls his leg completely backward, and as Michael tries and, like, pulls Jean off of him, is able to, like, get him to break his grasp, and he kind of looks at you sideways and starts to pull backwards.
Come on, Brat Squad, let's get the fuck out of here. Michael yells at everybody.
Okay. What are you guys doing? Kate, Rhea.
Would probably be backing away, and I would probably also, because Kate's closest, try and grab Kate if she's not running forward and just be like, why are we staying in the smoke? I don't care about this dude. Let's leave.
Yeah, I'd be backing away.
Okay.
Wait, is Lilith still kind of in the crosshairs?
Yep.
Okay. I would be backing away, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna try to bind him again.
Okay. Was that a hot roll or was that a abyss roll?
That is actually a dark roll because it's my hex.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that. As that happens, as you try and summon this, like, dark magic from you, Vega's gonna set his sights on you, Lilith. And he looks at you for a second, and you hear all around you, all around every single one of you, you're not supposed to be alive. And he's gonna reach out and try and grab the side of your hoodie right near your arm and pull you backwards and drag you into his office.
It's a 12.
Can I use a move? Hypnotic?
Let me stack this.
Okay.
Lilith, roll to keep your cool if you would like to resist this. Or you can go along with it.
She'd
What would
resist
Lilith
it.
do? She'd resist it. Okay,
Yeah.
roll for cool.
She doesn't trust this guy.
Kate, go ahead and roll your bind.
It's a 12.
It's a 12. Okay. Michael, what are you trying to do?
He's basically trying to use his ability to like take control of Vega
Okay.
or like command him.
Okay. What are you commanding him to do?
To leave everybody here alone.
Okay. Lilith, what you got?
10.
10. Michael, what you got?
12.
Okay. Between the two of you, Kate and Michael, both of you kind of glancing at each other and then looking back at this eldritch horror that has overtaken this hallway. Lilith, you pulling backwards and holding your ground, you fall backwards right in front of the two of them, and both of you are able to put up an imaginary wall between this smoke and all of you. And you can see behind you that little pinprick of light where Rhea left the door open. And you can run toward it if you need to. But you watch Vega completely disintegrate into smoke. And then ball his way down the hallway and into an office at the end on the left-hand side. Jean is passed out in front of you. What do you do?
Michael will pick him up and start heading back towards the door.
Okay. You are dragging a passed out dean of students by yourself.
Kendra will be like, someone should help. Haley?
I'll
Haley's
go
inside.
forward and help.
Michael, roll for cool for me.
What do I add cold to that? Let's
Yeah.
see. 9.
Okay. Do you feel like you got this? Or do you want to accept the helm?
I'll accept the help.
Okay.
Maybe we can get like one arm over each of our shoulders and like.
Okay. You are able to take pretty much Jean's full weight if you wanted to pick him up completely. Fireman carry, throw him over your shoulder. But you let Rhea kind of grab the other side and you can drag him wherever you want to go. Bernie,
Come on, all you kids.
as you guys are kind of moving towards the light, you see Bernie's head kind of poke her way in, soaking wet, kind of scared. Hello?
You don't want to be in here right now.
Oh, okay. Is that is that the dean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And she kind of backs up and goes backwards. What do you guys do?
If Lilith's
Get
still
outside.
out of the on the ground, I'll help her up and then get out. Yeah.
All right. Where are you guys headed? Is it to the steps of the school? Is it back to somebody's apartment? Is it to your hiding spot? Where are we headed? You have full
Kendra heads outside and checks in with Heidi, who is calling Hunter,
Okay.
hoping that Hunter has arrived.
Okay. Hunter's not there. But Heidi is sort of sitting on the steps, like texting, doing her thing. And she sort of looks up and goes, all of you look like shit.
Did you not hear what was going on in there?
No. It sounded fine
Everyone's-
to me.
Gone through the door, Lilith will kind of close the door.
Okay. It sounded fine to me. Like, all of you just kind of texting or talking, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we were. It was just. It was a game of Red Rover, is what we were doing in there. The dean passed out, obviously. Do you want to help us, or?
At 3 a.m.? Yeah. What do you want me to do? I'm wearing monoloblonics. What do you want?
Should we call
That
someone?
That was good.
Who do you want me to call? Like I mean,
No,
A
I
doctor?
shouldn't.
No?
He'll be
Okay.
fine. I can take him home.
Should we call like a lift or something? Do we want to get out of here? Where are we going? Michael, can we
Take a
all head
car?
back to yours?
Sure, fine. I'll meet you there. I'll take the dean home.
do you like know where the dean lives?
Yes.
Okay, so
All right.
are you going to give us some more information on that?
Let's let the lost
No.
boy do what he's trying to do.
Heidi's like furiously texting in her phone and is like messaging the number that you have, Kendra, and is like, "What does he mean? Are you kidding me? What?"
Yeah.
Can meet you back at mine.
At first, when Heidi texts me, I'll just look at the phone and be like, "Why are you texting me right now?" Oh. and then like text her back. The dean was withholding some stuff, and I think Michael is too.
Okay. All right. Anything anybody else wants to do right now before we split the party?
Michael, do you want help or a pair of eyes?
It's fine. Lilith, go home. I'll see all of you there.
Lilith, you know exactly the way that to this apartment.
She will turn around, start making her way there. See if anyone follows her.
Your route feels really familiar as you go. Your shoes are wet though.
Mm,
It's really uncomfortable.
it's really awkward. Oh, squelchy sound. It's the worst.
Do you like mind if I come along? Bernie's kind of standing there, like really soaking wet, like kind of pathetic.
Come on, Bernie. And Lola's gonna like hold out.
Are you sure? I don't want to like
Yeah.
be inconvenient or anything.
Come on, come on.
Honestly, you're just a part of this now. I don't know.
Okay.
We have a lot to figure out, and you're coming with us.
All right, okay. Do you? I could stop on the way and get snacks.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible.
Okay, I will stop at the. Do we pass the 7-Eleven? And she kind of, comes along with all of you. Okay, who is going to Michael's? Michael, is it just you and the dean?
Yeah. I think Michael's more than capable of carrying him alone and will, takes him home.
Okay. He kind of comes to at some point and is like, ugh. Ugh, and kind of stands on his 2 solid feet. Jesus, kid, I'm sorry. I can walk from here. It's fine.
Michael will put him down.
Okay.
But, like, does it seem like he can, like, really walk, or is he a little wobbly?
He's a little stumbly. Definitely a little stumbly.
Michael rolls his eyes and, like, pulls Jean's hand over his arm, like, shoulders.
He lets you. He's a little sheepish about it.
So you were gonna handle that alone, huh?
What do you want me to do? You want me to tell all your friends they're fucked?
I want you to not die because Mr. Vega decides he hates you.
Listen, I'm a lot more capable than you think I am. I've
Seems
been
like there's a
handling
lot.
this my own for a while. And yeah, I don't want all of you in this.
Seems like there's a lot you haven't been telling me.
There's a lot you don't tell me. You come into my apartment, we hang out, you leave.
Yeah, well, I'm not secretly at war with the Eldritch Terror in the basement, so...
And I'm not secretly carrying off co-eds, but that's your bag and this one's mine.
Fair enough. Still, we're all
guess we're
fucking
on equal
involved now. Sorry.
I guess we're on equal ground. Sorry, it was a bad joke. Listen, I found out that your friend... You know she lived in your apartment, right, Lilith?
Yeah, I know. I've known she was a ghost since I moved in.
Well, I have known also. Unfortunately, Vega's been keeping an eye on all of you. He knows, Michael.
Well, so does that witch girl, and now Miss Plastic too, so...
He knows about all of them, too. Why do you think he treats her like shit? Kate. He thinks it's fun.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a dick.
No shit. And apparently he can turn into smoke now. So are you gonna let us help you or not?
I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want any of you to. If I thought I could clear everybody's name, get you all out of whatever black book that Vega's got carrying around, make it so that this monster thing is easy to take down, sure. But I haven't been allowed in his office in 3 weeks, and I think he's hiding something in there.
Between the two of us, which one is an immortal monster? I think that I'll be fine.
If you're so sure, yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I'll look after all the kids, too.
You know you're not a monster, right?
Guess it depends who you're asking.
I'm asking me.
Yeah, well, you've got a soft spot.
Kind of looks down, back up at you. It's very clear that he could totally walk on his own at this point, and he is choosing not to.
I'm sure Michael knows that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna drop the cool guy thing and go save your friends?
Save. I hope they don't need saving from the ghost in my apartment.
Okay, fair. But I mean, you know. Hopefully, I'll be able to get into his office tomorrow and we'll be able to meet up there.
You're gonna let us help.
Yeah, I'll let you help.
Stop pulling the fucking hero thing.
Listen, there's a difference between trying to be Spider-Man and trying to just be a nice guy. One of them gets their photo taken by, you know, the Daily Prophet.
I don't think that's
under wraps.
okay. You might need to review your young adult fiction. Just don't go in alone, okay?
All right.
Anything you want me to tell the Brat Squad?
About what?
This mess. What we're dealing with.
I'd prefer they didn't know.
I think it's late for that.
Figure out what they do know. I trust you, you can lie.
Well, not if that witch gets to me, but I'll try.
Didn't really know what she was doing, but tell her I said thanks. Both of you saved me.
I'll consider it.
You say I got a soft spot. You're nicer than you think you are.
Yeah, well, it'd be pretty sad to leave the old man in the basement to get eaten while I pieced out.
All right. I can get up to my apartment alone if you want to head back. You guys have reached the point where you're like at the doors now.
All right. Go sleep or whatever it is you do at night.
I'll take some notes.
On
Write
what?
everything down. Just get out of here.
All right. Text me if you need anything.
Cool guy nod.
Assuming my phone works.
I mean, it seemed to work when I was messaging you. Did someone's phone not work?
They all kind of blew up at the same time.
Oh. That's weird. Anyway, go ahead. You sure you... Never mind. He lets you go.
I can't let all those kids wait.
It's fine. It's fine. Get out of here.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Don't die.
Speak for yourself, old man.
He goes inside.
Michael goes
Alright.
back
Damn.
and goes back to his apartment eventually.
Okay. Lilith, you are leading everyone to the apartment. Would anyone like to talk amongst yourselves at this point?
I feel like I would have been like, now that I have my keys, been like, I'm gonna grab my scooter if anyone wants a ride.
All right. You totally pass the bike rack that you keep it on. So there's like the bike rack on the left side and then like the little scooter parking on the right side where they're all kind of parked and yours is right there. What color is it?
Yellow.
All right. Your yellow scooter is right there. It's got like the extra long seat for somebody to ride on the back.
I'd take a ride.
Shrug and say, okay, sure.
Heidi, make sure that Hunter knows to meet us at Michael's apartment now. Hopefully she's not still coming to the school.
Seeing that, I would like to use another one of my hexes.
How are
Should have
you?
run off to Rhea.
How would you like to do this?
Kendra, what are you thinking right now as you're getting on the bike?
I would like how I would like to have some alone time with Rhea. Like it'll be nice after all that. Like not like alone time, but just some time to relax.
Okay. You suddenly forget something,
Oh shoot.
and you definitely feel like you need to walk with, what is it, Heidi? Yeah.
Heidi and Haley are kind
Yeah.
of trailing behind, like both texting, kind of talking lightly. I get like talking to each other. What do you roll? How does this work? Help me out and help our viewers out.
Alright.
What are you rolling? And then does Kendra get the opportunity to roll anything against you?
So if I fail, bad things, basically.
Okay.
It's bad things happen to me.
Gotcha.
So I'm rolling dark because I'm using my witchy magic. And so I rolled a 7. So on a 7 to 9, it works, but I have to choose take a harm.
Mhm.
The hex has a weird side effect, or it triggers my darkest self.
All right. Now I have the shield, which is when I've got my gang around me. Subtract 1 from any rolls against you.
Okay.
All right. So
So
then
you
I
only
fail.
have 2 members of your.
I was gonna say Hunter's not here.
I am gonna have you roll to keep your cool in this situation because you don't want to get off of this bike.
I don't.
Yeah, roll
Okay.
for cold.
Six.
Unfortunately, that's not enough.
I know.
All right, you just go, ugh, ugh. And you kind of remember everything that you like have, all your little experiences with Rhea so far, and the way that she smiles at you. And yet, you kind of have people to talk to. Hey, this has worked, but I do need you to choose a condition.
Yes. I think I want to, like, I'll take a harm.
All right, you take 1 point of harm.
And then I will.
You only have 4 points, right?
Yeah.
Total? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not missing any other ones from our last.
No, I didn't take any harm.
Okay.
So when I fail, I get an experience, right?
You do.
This means I have something to pick.
Okay. As you read through that, Kate, do you want to get on the back of Rhea's motorcycle?
I would love to get on the back of Rhea's
Or-
motorcycle.
Scooter, excuse me.
Yeah.
The best
Scooter.
situation.
Let's not oversell it.
Rhea, what are you doing?
Like I was gonna act like I have helmets. I don't have helmets. I just kind of like back the scooter out, give it like a little rev, just like take off.
All right.
Dorkiest scooter way possible.
Kate is obviously super, super cool for this and like throws a leg over the side. Kate, what do you do?
I will reach both arms around her and just like back to front, push myself against her.
Is this a turn on roll?
I believe it would be.
I think you should roll for hot.
Okay. I fail
Rhea, you
every
are-
time when I roll
No!
this, though.
Okay.
Every
Rhea.
time.
Rhea, you are zipping through the city streets. You've been here before. You'll be here again. This is your apartment complex. You know exactly where you're gonna be. You take a couple back roads, make the trip a little bit longer. It's the scenic route. It's very clear that you're like, ripping a little over the speed limit because this baby absolutely fitted to like 200 cc's. You can make it go real fast if you need to. Is that illegal? Yes. Do you care? No. What do you do in this situation as Kate you could tell that she's like kind of getting closer to you, but there's like this frozen tension, and you notice that when you take a turn, she kind of doesn't throw her weight into the turn right. So what do you do?
I mean, I feel like I would just like go a couple extra blocks and a couple more extra blocks. And then like a few more extra blocks, and then finally like when it was like too long a time to be like not suspicious, I'd be like, well, guess we're going to this apartment.
All right. Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I failed my roll. I don't know.
I will let you continue to RP this out
Okay.
if you would like. You don't have to be a total disaster. You just couldn't get closer to her physically.
Okay. So as we're parking and getting off the bike, I'll just kind of lean in and I really like your shirt. and just kind of pull at the bottom hem of it.
Instantly just turn like very bright red and be like, thanks, I got it at Target.
Okay.
You're cute.
Even like more red. Thanks.
I will lean in.
I would giggle, but then also lean in.
All right. I feel like this is very endearing of you, Rhea. You like to roll for hot right now.
Sure. That'll be a 12.
Absolute freaking success. Okay.
Wow.
The wind kind of picks up for a second. And like the little pieces of Kate's ponytail that have kind of come free kind of fly up against her cheek as you lean in. And outside, out back behind your apartment, there's this like cute little courtyard. And there's one little street light over top both of you. And like leaning over your bike, you guys make contact. You have a couple of minutes to like hang out and chat about that before you need to go inside. While that is happening, Kendra,
Yes.
you are walking and the two of your three H's are behind you and were kind of talking amongst themselves. But you get a text on your phone. And it just says, "Hey girl, we need to talk about Kendra, actually. Do you have a minute?"
On my phone?
This is Haley's phone.
I know, the little iPhone 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, without reacting at all, I'm just going to quickly type back.
The phone is locked. It was like a push notification.
So I can just see it. I can't do anything about it.
You can try and unlock it. I will let you try and
I'm gonna
unlock
try. I'm gonna try and unlock it.
What do you do?
I use the password. I use the same password that I make all of the girls use, so that I can get into their phones.
Okay. Roll for hot because that's sexy. What's the password?
Okay. Okay. What is my hot? It is 2 plus 2.
Nice.
12.
All right. What's the password that you use? What's the passcode?
I make them use 6969, of course.
Nice. That's my iPhone unlock password also.
Well, now that was a joke, obviously. You wouldn't give out your real iPhone password.
I never would.
No, of course not.
Yeah, so you like type in those digits real fast. You are in iMessage and you see a whole conversation. Since you rolled so high, you see a whole conversation before where Hunter is like, "Where are you guys? Where is she? Is she there yet? Is she talking to you?" There's just clearly an ongoing thread of these two kind of talking about you and your whereabouts, like behind your back.
I simply am going to play it cool.
All right, what are you doing? Are you responding?
Yeah, I'm gonna respond and I'm gonna say, can't talk right now. What are the specifics?
You see the 3 dots come up
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
and then they go away
Oh,
and then they come back up
yeah, they do.
and after a couple of cycles of that,
Mm-hmm.
you get a text message that just says, "Man, it just feels like she doesn't want to talk to me. I couldn't hang out tonight. I'll get the drama update in the morning, but tell everybody I miss them.
That's very sweet.
Is that what you text back?
No. I thought they were turning on me, but she's so sweet. I'm going to say, yeah, she's being weird. We'll talk tomorrow.
You get the 3 dots again, and then you unget the 3 dots, and then you get the 3 dots. And real quickly, you get, do you think she knows?
I'm gonna say she might.
Hunter sends a really roasted meme, like just like a really big, like screaming, like react style meme immediately.
I react to it and then I close the phone.
Okay, the camera roll is like a bunch of screenshots and a lot of pictures of like new outfits. It's like the Depop machine, you know. But
yeah, I guess I would actually.
Do you do the like iPhone hold like heart react? Like what's
I'm gonna like heart react, and then after doing that and making sure it sends, I'm going to delete all of that.
Ooh, do you delete the whole conversation?
Not only the conversation that I've had, only the conversation that I've had.
Okay, can you do that in an iPhone? I legitimately don't know. You can?
Yeah, you can delete individual.
you
like,
can.
All right, thank you.
This is the Monsterhearts Tech Hour, sponsored by.
Thanks. Vi is real good at this. Okay, so you delete that section of the conversation, and Haley's kind of looking at you, and it's just like, who are you texting? Never mind. I shouldn't have asked you. It's fine. Are we supposed to sleep in this guy's apartment? Yeah. Are we like supposed to stay here?
I'm still looking to get some answers. Hopefully we can put our minds together and come up with some sort of semblance understanding of what that was. But then I'm probably trying to head home. I'm not trying to sleep here.
What happened? Like, you said there was like this. What? All I saw was like 15 of students, which is like a thing, a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, like if you had come in, maybe you would have been like a part of it, but I don't know. You were like out here texting Hunter, so I don't know what that's about.
She just said that she was feeling really sick. Like really sick. She must have like drank something that she wasn't supposed to. You know how she is.
You guys know you could tell me anything, right?
Me? Yeah, of course. We're like sisters. We tell each other everything.
And you guys like wouldn't hide something from me, right?
Heidi looks like, yeah, duh, like absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Haley kind of like tucks her hair behind her ear and then it's like, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, love you.
So like, I think that maybe I got some photos of the dean with like that Michael kid. Just saying.
What?
Like, I just maybe. I'll show you later. And they kind of keep walking.
I'm enticed.
Okay. They give you like the download of everything as they're kind of walking, and they're like, I can't believe, yeah, that's so crazy. I'm like, smoke monster, whatever. And they're kind of talking to each other as Bernie and Lilith are walking up to Lilith's apartment.
I feel like Lilith is just like on. I don't want to say muscle memory because I don't think it's been muscles, but like she knows this path. She's not really thinking about it. She's just going.
On ghost memory.
Yeah.
All right. So she's, yeah, definitely like beating in the same like trench that she always does. How does it feel?
really weird. Like, she's still wet. She's not over it. Like, it's...
You notice that like her hair is starting to dry a little bit.
Which, that's also really weird, because, like, the color's weird, the texture's weird. The fact that it's drying is just... It's different. It doesn't feel familiar.
As you're kind of like playing with the ends of your hair and you're like, Bernie
like...
kind of looks at you and is like, hey, are you okay? You were the other person in the fountain, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Really?
That really sucks.
Yeah, it kind of really does. Like, I don't know a lot. Like, last years just seem to have skipped or flown by or muddled together. I'm just trying to, I don't know, just trying.
I get that. That's kind of how like my senior year of high school was for me. I just kind of went through the motions until I ended up here, I guess. And I don't have that much else to do other than like make really good grades because that's what my mom said that I should do. And
Sounds boring.
yeah, it's, I don't know.
It really sucks that you were the other person in the fountain too. Sorry you got sucked into that.
I feel like I spent too much time trying to make really good grades and kind of make everything like work out. I never really like thought about it that way. I just went, "Oh, that sucks," and kind of kept going.
Well, anytime you think something sucks, you can stop doing it and try something else. Make it not suck. I mean, have you tried other things that don't suck and see if you liked it?
Is that why you're like an artist?
Oh,
To like make things suck less?
yeah, I just always enjoyed drawing what you see, I guess. So yeah, I guess it did make things suck a little less. And you could always do it, so if you're with sucky people, you could draw the people. And then, you know, crumble it up, throw it into a fire. Feel a little bit better.
So like performance art.
Do people have to watch it? If so, then it wasn't performance.
That's profound.
Lilith is not, like, in the right state of mind for this. She's officially gone, like,
Okay.
and, like, keeps walking.
Okay. Bernie follows you, but like keeps asking you like very light questions about your art and like your body of work, and she's legitimately interested. And as you guys kind of approach the apartment, and you kind of slow down to like get inside. Michael, I guess, gave you his keys. She kind of just stops and goes, like, I'm glad you're back. And thank you for keeping me here. I think I have a lot of things to change.
I'm glad you could stay.
You too. I guess it's not over, huh?
Guess not. I mean, we don't want anyone else to end up into the water fountain. And Lilith walks right smack into the door.
You have to, like, open it.
I forgot that! Jeez! Do you have to do this every time?
Yes, we're solid.
This is awful! Going back to the fountain, and she's gonna, like, try to remember where she put the key, because, like, she knows that he gave it to her, but I don't think at the time it registered that, oh, you need this to get inside the apartment.
They are in your hoodie pocket.
She will, like, shuffle through and get them, and, like... How many keys are on there?
1.
Okay.
No, Michael, how many keys are on your keyring?
Probably 2 different house keys. And like maybe a motorcycle key. Well, actually, it would probably be 3 because the library.
Okay, so there's 1 like gold key for the library. 2 silver house keys and a motorcycle key.
She does not know the difference. She's trying them all.
Okay. Which one do you try first? No, we don't have to RP this. You try one of the house keys and it doesn't work, and then you try the other house key and it totally lets you in.
Like very triumphantly, like swings it open and steps aside for everyone to go in.
Okay.
Like she just did some grand spectacle or something, but she totally just opened the door.
Bernie gives you a little nod and steps right inside. Kendra and the 2 H's follow suit very quickly. Rhea.
Is there usually 3 of you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Rhea and Kate are in the background or behind this apartment. Do you head up to Michael's?
Isn't that your apartment over there?
Woohoo. Yeah?
Do you want to?
Real obtuse.
Do you want to take this in there?
Just very uncharacteristic, like little giggle. And just sort of like starts walking toward her apartment.
Nice.
I follow.
Okay. How long is it before you go up to Michael's apartment if you would like to, or are you choosing not to take that adventure?
Right?
Your audio
You
clip.
cut out. Yeah, you clipped.
It's already like 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wait till dawn?
You know where he lives. If you want to wait until morning, you can. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it's we're not making it
Yeah.
tonight. Okay.
Okay. The sun is in the sky firmly when you return.
Point of order.
Sure.
You were wearing your Letterman jacket, right?
Yes, indeed, I was.
Without remarking, when we get up to go, I grab it and put it on.
Would say nothing and grab a different sports warm up and put it on.
So now you're matching on top of this. So you both have like what? Wait, what's Rhea's number?
7.
All right, you both got lucky 7s. Get it? Do you get it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Thanks. Thanks for indulging me. Okay, hours pass. Bernie's kind of warming up at this point. Michael, how long does it take for you to get home?
however far the walk is, I don't think it's insane. I mean, he probably walked kind of the wrong direction to go to Jean's house and then had to walk back to his place. It was whatever, it's probably like an hour
Okay.
tops.
Okay. It's enough time for them to all get in. Lilith, did you need something?
Does Michael have any food in the apartment?
Nope. Well, okay, he might have like beer or like there might be stuff left over from the party because they did just leave like a couple hours ago. So if people brought
Wasn't Bernie grabbing snacks?
Oh yeah, Bernie
was
would
grabbing
totally have stopped at 7-Eleven and got like some Doritos, some Bugles, some
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, she's got the cheddar jalapeno Cheetos. You know she has taste. She's got
there's probably like party junk too,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sitting around.
Lilith, what you doing? There's
She's-
snacks.
She's commandeered like an entire bag of stuff. It's like sitting on the counter, just like
Okay,
eating?
with you're like 4 feet in the air, like on top of the counter, like both your legs like a little pretzel, and you've got pizza combos.
yes.
Yeah,
She's not sharing.
it's really nice to eat food, but you are all kind of standing around waiting for Michael to show back up. Bernie kind of starts pacing around. Do you know when everybody's gonna get back?
Nope.
Are you guys all like friends?
I wouldn't say that.
You're so cool. And then, Michael, you finally come home to this group of motley people. What do you do?
He's like coming into his apartment and there are all these people just like sitting around like, sounds like not really talking.
Yeah, dead silence.
Like
Just sounded
texting,
like, oh, like the
crunching.
Yes.
Is the like plastic squad all just like sitting there texting? Like,
I would assume Haley and Heidi are absolutely just texting amongst themselves.
yeah, I mean he'll come into his apartment and the front door is like you can see the rest of the main areas, so he would just like look around and be like, okay, we're missing some people.
Well, there was a scooter, and I honestly thought that would be quicker, but
I saw the scooter outside. Whatever, I don't care.
I don't think they made it back because they weren't here when we made it.
Whatever, I guess that's their problem. Jean is fine. He says that he'll try to help us or that we'll try to help him, so.
Learn anything interesting?
About that, actually, I think I know what John is looking for. There's something.
Is this like an all heads turn, like?
Well, that slowly opens the bag towards her to like try and lure the information out with food.
Michael's
Bernie
like,
just, Bernie just kind of stands there and is like, there's something in Dr. Vega's office.
have you seen it?
Yeah. And I think this is a good place to go to break.
Oh!
We're
Ernie, what you got?
a little early. We are a little early, but I feel like this is
That's-
good.
That's a
time.
You're
good
Seacresting
cliffhanger,
us.
though.
I've got to Seacrest you.
Mm.
American Idol style.
The lure.
After this break.
Pick
Yeah,
a
it's-
keyword for us.
Oh my
Ooh.
goodness. I think it should be Vespa.
Yes.
Yeah. It's got to be the scooter.
2 seconds.
I just watched a video about how Vespas are made yesterday.
Oh, no way.
They're made like airplanes.
What?
Because the guy who designed them like originally made airplanes, yeah.
That's so cool. We could do
More
scooter,
you know.
but I feel like it's
Too
it's
late. I already
Vespa.
typed Vespa.
Wonderful.
Vespa.
All right.
It means
Please
wasp.
enter Vespa into
Vespa
the chat
Green.
after we've put it in the chat, which we have, and you will be entered to win a $10 gift code to Tabletop Loot, which means that you get dice with our conjuncting code GutPunchRP. I stole that from you. Thank you for letting me, Tia.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. All right. So we'll be back in a little bit, and yeah. So, be right at the back. Oh, hey.
Hi there.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hello. And welcome back.
We're back.
We're back.
Oh, hey there. All right, so if you would like a chance to win a $10 off gift code to tabletoploot.com that you can use in conjunction with the code GutPunchRP to get 50% off your order, which will pretty much get you like a free dice set, but they have other things beside dice sets like dice towers, bags, coffee mugs, whatever. Then enter Vespa into the chat. You can have a few more seconds to enter Vespa into the chat. Going.
Vespa, paging Vespa.
It means
Paging Vespa.
wasp.
Paging
Just full of
Vespa.
fun facts tonight, huh?
Paging Vespa. Vespa. Wreck!
Ray!
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Wonderful.
Love to see it. Wreck.
Absolutely.
We love to see it.
Wreck. Drop some of your melons in the chat. So that I can click on your name. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me
Rigged.
do the thing. Yeah, there it is.
Yes, there's
This
some.
is a rec emote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know it.
All right, I'm whispering you your code right now.
Don't forget to use the code GutPunchRP. It gives you 15% off.
Yes.
I'm stuck in this voice.
Even if you didn't win, you could still use code GutPunchRP on checkout for 15% off.
There are new dice in there. They're very good. I'm very tempted.
We keep doing
this
this,
like-
and then I could become Bartok. That's what
Yes.
this happens.
Like what's happening? Is this Michael's family? They all come in with the accents. They come and visit one day.
Yes, I am a Michael's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Vampire mother from the old country.
Okay, Liz.
This is not Lola proof. She's retreating.
Oh no,
Oh,
woman.
This is just what we do in the shadows at this point.
It's
It's
my favorite
creepy
time of day.
paper.
give the people what they want. You know.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead and move to Staten Island. It's fine.
It is the night. Bet.
Macabre.
All right.
All right, Bernie, drop the lore.
Are we back in it?
Dish the dirt. Go, Bernie, go.
Okay, for the chat, to recap very slightly what our players were doing, we've all gathered at the local vampire Michael's apartment. Two of the members have decided to stay in an adjoining apartment. Well, it's on the lower floor, to hang out and wear matching outfits. And it is the sun starting to peek over the horizon, the dawn kind of coming up. And everyone gathers around small little dyed hair, death cab t-shirt, flannel that's sort of dried out. Her hair is like really frizzy now because of the chlorine that was in the fountain. And she is like, so yeah, I saw something in Dr. Vega's office. Do we want to wait for everybody else to get here?
Well, they haven't said anything about if they're even planning on showing up, so
We can fill them in.
yeah.
Okay, if you're sure. Well, when you guys all left, I, kept doing my schoolwork, and I walked by Dr. Vega's office, just to go talk to some other staff, and I, heard some voices in there, so I, knocked on the door, but I guess I wasn't supposed to be in there, and he opened it and said that I need to leave, but I figured I would just ask some questions, while I was there, and he said to leave again, but he looked weird. His eyes were really dark. And I guess I wasn't supposed to be asking questions because he said that his office hours were closed, but then, everything went really normal. And he said that I could, come in, and he asked me what I saw. And I explained the book to him, Michael, the one book that you took, and I saw this thing kind of crawling up the walls.
What
It's like
thing?
this like black like goo monster thing. And then everything went really dark, and then I was in the fountain.
What? Okay. And you don't remember anything in the middle?
No, I mean, Vega was being weirdly really nice. Like, at the end there, he kind of wanted me to go away, and then, he was... I thought that I was going to be able to get some extra credit or something. He seemed like he was... gonna answer my questions.
What did you tell him about the book?
She kind of like rubs the back of her neck a little bit, and it's just like, I told him that we saw like the one poem thing. Why was that bad?
I don't think we know yet, but maybe.
Well, he asked me who I was with, and I said all of you. And then he asked for names, and then I realized I didn't know all your last names, so I should probably ask for all your last names. Is that bad too?
Let's just say what's done is done at this point.
Well, I'm just really glad that Lilith was okay, because he seemed really mad that Lilith had, like, found this and was hanging out with all of you.
He was angry about Lilith?
Yeah, I guess... I don't know, it seemed like... Lilith, are you a student of his or anything?
But then the one psychology class is Lilith a student of his?
Yeah, he kept saying that you had been, like, erased or something. He was really concerned about records. I don't know.
I mean, I showed up to class. I was supposed to go there.
Lilith, do
no
you
one else.
remember anything about Mr. Vega before? Like 5 years ago?
And do I remember anything about Vega before the fountain?
I'm gonna need you to roll to stare into the abyss, please.
No. Okay. 10.
Hey. 10 is a full success, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lilith.
On 7 to 9, the abyss shows you confusing and alarming. Oh, 10 and up, the abyss shows you lucid dreams. Wait, no! Don't want that!
Oh.
Well,
And you take
As-
1 forward to addressing them.
as Kate kind of looks at you and you close your eyes for a moment and think back. After you woke up, back when you couldn't feel anything, you remember the sensation of not really being in your body, of your family and your friends feeling really far away. But you remember Dr. Vega being there. You were in his office. He was doing your enrollment paperwork, which was weird. But is he your advisor?
Not my
Yeah.
major.
You remember him being your advisor. You remember him setting you up with your entire class schedule. You remember reporting to him with pretty much everything. It's almost like he planted you there. It's almost like he was keeping you in this school. Kind of making sure that you didn't escape it. So that it looked like you were still there, preventing you from passing on.
Sneaky little fucker.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that he was the one that pushed you into the fountain, but you also remember that he was the one that pulled you out.
The first time?
Wasn't Michael the one that did that?
The first time in the fountain pulled me out? Or the second time? How many times have I been in this fountain?
Since you got a 10,
Uh-huh.
how old are you?
I think she would have been like 22, right?
Like in her senior year?
Yeah.
When Bernie says, yeah, it just seemed like he'd been keeping records for a really long time and he was really concerned about them. You can tell that Dr. Vega's kind of been keeping you in this cycle a couple of times. All the people standing around you, their interference. That's why you feel solid.
So this has been going on for longer than 5 years.
Mhm.
Son of a bitch. She'll say that part out loud. I get
What's wrong? Like,
What?
it says I get 1 forward to addressing them. Do I get to ask a question? I kind of already asked a couple.
one forward means you get an addition to a roll. So depending on what you do, I will give you more information if you would like to ask any member of the party or ask Bernie or whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster.
Can't give me choices. Bad things happen. Actually, nothing happens. That's what happens.
That's also not true. Show me what you got.
She's gonna like sit there and really kind of like mull it through. And I'm like, that son of a bitch. I don't think it was the one time. I think he kept pushing me into the fountain. Because Michael, you pulled me out, didn't you?
Tonight, yes.
And he pulled me out before too. But he also
When?
pushed me in. Well, for certain 5 years ago.
Lilith, I saw you that night in the fountain.
Did?
Yes.
Before or after?
After.
You didn't see Vega, did you?
DM, did I see Vega? No. But
I think he was an advisor or a rollmate or something. It feels like he was doing something with the books to make sure I was staying here, or it looked like I was staying here, or I don't know if it was for my sake or others' sake, but making sure I kept coming back.
well, you all heard what Jean said. Feeding misery or suffering to whatever the fuck that thing is in the basement.
And drowning in the fountain, that's certainly miserable.
Yeah, it is. Bernie kind of looks at you like reproachfully.
But why you?
I don't think I was that miserable alive, and if I was, you think he'd want to keep me around alive miserable? I don't know.
What was your life like before everything?
I don't know. I always just kept going through the motions. I haven't thought about that in a while. I just remember being in his office and there was family, there were friends, but they weren't nearby. He was nearby though. I don't know. Just keeping me here, I guess.
Well, if Mr. Vega can, like... Sorry, Doctor. If he can, like, mess with all our heads and, like, get rid of our memories and stuff... Do you think he has your old life?
Like my memories?
Maybe.
I don't think I have them, so... That or I've just forgotten them.
Well, if he's, like, keeping you here, then, like... Do you want them back?
Oh yeah. They're mine. Alright,
Wait,
so...
I thought you knew her.
I don't
Did
think
you
Kate's
ever-
here.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Mm. God damn it, Kate. Well, all right. That begs the question: why us then?
Me? Is that at me?
Well, no, it's at all of us. Why did Vega care? I mean, I suppose none of us are really normal students, but
Well, I know you guys are helping keep me solid, keep me here, whether that's temporary or permanent, I don't know, and whether it's because you guys pulled me out.
like, I don't know why the bitch squad. What do you have to do with all this?
That's kind of rude.
Are we really the most miserable people here? I don't think so.
Haley kind of snorts and texts. Man, I mean, Haley kind of like locks her phone and you hear like the like little lock sound and just goes, I don't know. I feel like you don't seem very normal to me. And she like looks at you, Michael. You two have quite a lot going on, getting drowned all the time. Kendra, you're a really good friend. But, we should probably wait for Hunter to get here.
Where is Hunter anyway? I thought you all traveled as a pack.
Is Hunter even going to show up? I mean, I know you were texting her.
I can text her again if you want me to.
No, let's just move forward without her tonight. Or this morning, I guess.
Alright, if you want to stay that way.
Is this trouble in paradise?
I just wish I could text her from my phone. It's fine.
You could, like, tell her that it's you. Anyway.
Haley, I saw the texts. I know that you and Hunter are talking about me behind my back.
Do you think that Hunter didn't send me screenshots? She knows I have 2 phones.
Okay. With the betrayal, I think I get a string on Haley.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of like move the bag of chips over to Michael to see if he wants.
I'll take one, sure. Yeah, he's like definitely like looks sideways at Lilith like, oh boy.
So then what is this whole masquerade?
What masquerade? The part where like you're totally in love with her and you like refuse to admit it?
I...
Alright, stay miserable. Just admit it.
I'm perfectly fine. I truly don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're perfectly perfect in every way, in the way that my Yves Saint Laurent lipstick is never gonna run out. Okay. Speaking of, she like gets it out of her pocket and like gets a little compact and is like,
Kendra's gonna like walk away from the group. She doesn't want to be surrounded by the H's anymore.
okay. You take a minute, kind of walk. Do you like walk to the other side of the room or do you like leave the apartment?
I think I walked to the other side of the room, more
All right.
on the side of, other people than the H's, because I don't feel safe standing around them right now.
Okay. You're a little closer to Bernie. You're, closer to Michael and Lilith right now. And Bernie's just like, so if it's not all you intentional, then maybe it's all of you just because you were there? It seems like you've got a lot going on. And she kind of like rubs her face a little bit and like looks at you like sympathetically, Kendra, but like you can tell that it's a little like over sympathetic.
Hate to say it, Bernie, but I think you were just a loose end. He
He looks a little
got what he
sad.
wanted, and
Yeah, I think I heard some stuff I wasn't supposed to.
I think so too.
There's definitely something in there.
You said it was a goo monster?
Yeah, some smoke thing that turned into something solid, and then I didn't see it anymore.
And he was there too, at the same
Yeah.
time.
Weird.
Yeah, and then it was gone for some reason.
You said he was weird, and then he was normal. Was
Yeah,
he
he had,
normal
like-
when?
Dark eyes and was really scary and freaky, and then it was gone.
Did you see anything else in there? Anything out of place?
It looked like his office from what I remember, but we might want to go back.
I'm thinking, yeah, tomorrow we need to pay a visit to Mr. Vega.
I think so too. We might need all the hands we can get, though.
Listen, Bernie, you've already been in danger once. If you don't want to be a part of this, then it's all right.
I mean, I'm with you guys now. I don't mind sticking around if you need me to.
All right, don't make any stupid decisions.
Okay. I'm
And-
with Lilith.
Next time, please don't tell a stranger everything you know.
Well, I mean, I just thought that I was, gonna get a good grade, and I guess you're right. You're all, like, really cool,
Bernie, someday you're gonna realize that looking up at other people and thinking they're better than you doesn't mean shit.
You guys are really profound, all of you, all the time. You know that, right?
Lilith takes a really big crunchy chip, just chops into it.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Crunch. All right. Bernie kind of assesses the information and takes it in and is filled with this little sense of resolve as she kind of takes out her planner that she has in her backpack and she starts to like do a new bullet journal spread. She's got new ideas and she maps out what Dr. Vega's office looks like and draws out exactly what she saw and rips it out and hands it to you, Michael and Lilith. And then it's getting a little bit brighter in here. All the windows shut, of course, as Michael's comfort level should dictate. And Rhea and Kate, you are coming up the stairs from your night of adventuring. Kendra, I would say you are probably closest to the door. You can hear these footsteps approaching through the thin wall. Kate and Rhea, what would you like to do? How would you like to enter this space?
I would be following Kate.
Okay. Kate, in Rhea's Letterman jacket.
I will, like I haven't come walking in super late, we'll just walk in with the utmost purpose and almost like knowing what she's about to face, a little bit of indignation.
Okay. Do you open the door and walk right in? Do you knock?
I open the door and walk right in.
All right. Did anybody lock it behind themselves?
I think Michael would have been the last one to enter, so that's on him.
No, I don't think he locked it.
All right.
They're
You
all
open the
standing
door.
around like.
You walk right in. You've been in the space before. Kendra, you're the first person to notice that there's a big number 7 on this jacket.
Well, I hope you two had fun while we were getting down to the bottom of what's going on.
Yes.
Welcome to the party.
So what'd you find out?
Vega's an asshole.
You knew
Big
that.
as an asshole. Seems like Ghost Girl's been stuck in some kind of loop with him, and we need to pay Vega a visit. Also, it sounds like everybody's here been having a pretty shit 5 years.
That tracks.
Bernie seems to have all of the knowledge that we needed, so thanks for that, I guess.
You're welcome.
Hmm.
I am choosing to see this as a positive.
Good for you.
So am I, Bernie.
Bernie gave all of our names to Mr. Vega.
I didn't mean to. I didn't
Did?
know.
But
Keep that
what's done is
positivity.
done. So he knows about the book, as well as the rest of it.
Where is the book?
It's still in the library.
Should we get that before he does?
I suspect if he wanted it, he may already have it, but it's worth checking.
It wasn't in his office or anything. We could look.
It doesn't mean anything, but I can look.
And you were the one to put it wherever you put it. It's possible he couldn't find it.
Yeah, I guess it was with my stuff. Do we need it?
Bernie, do you have the book?
Let me look. She gets open her backpack. Sort of rifles around in there and she goes, "No, I don't have it. I guess
What happened to it?
I guess I left it at the library. I mean, I didn't really check it out or anything."
All right, well, I've got keys. I can go check.
Oh, right, you work there. Okay. Are you in this class?
No.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Bernie?
It's just a weird group of people. Anyway, so are you all, like, cool to help? We're here to get Lilith's memories back, right?
That'd be nice.
I'm in.
Among other things, I think it would be ideal if what happened to you didn't happen again.
That would be
I
nice
think-
too. Yeah.
Well, Jean, the dean, said he was going to pay Vega a visit tomorrow. And it seems to me he'd be stupid to do it alone.
Are you in with him, or are you trying to meet up?
Well, I intend to help him. I don't know about the rest of you.
I mean, I'm here for anything.
Well, if it gets my memories back, I'm in.
So get the book and then go with John to confront Vega.
Maybe so. Depends on what the book
By the time-
says.
Yeah, by the time we get the book, you know, John might have woken up, or I think getting Lilith's memories is gonna be helpful for us as well. If we know what happened, like fully know what happened, then we can, yeah, make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to offer you guys more than the fact that the fountain's really freaking cold.
Yeah.
As we begin to make plans, Kendra's like softening a bit and more willing to work with the group. Maybe not necessarily the H's, but the group.
The H's are still, like, in the background. They've kind of always, like, waited to be told what to do, but it seems like they're mostly talking amongst themselves. And, like, sharing, like, their phones back and forth.
Well, I can text Jean. He'll tell me whatever he knows, but I don't think it's a lot.
Okay. Do any of you get any sleep before you execute this plan?
What do we think? Meeting at the library in the morning?
I don't know if I'm going to get some sleep after all this, but I know I'm going to get some coffee before we get to the library. Who's with me?
You might as
Both
well
of
grab a
the
couple
H's
hours.
in the background, like, raise their hands.
Anyone else?
Sure, coffee sounds good.
What the hell?
Yeah. Coffee.
Okay.
No sleep.
Team no sleep. All right.
Next place.
On the
No
way
sleep.
out the door, Michael is gonna grab Kate and just as an aside be like, I want my photo back.
The H's start walking towards the coffee shop. There's like a really nice one a couple of blocks up, like on the way to the school. Everybody can kind of, you know, filter out and do that so that you guys can have this conversation like when everybody is gone.
I'll reach into my jacket and produce the photo and be like, fine. It's no
Plucks
good
it
to
out
me
of her
anyway.
hand.
anymore.
Real like just bitchy, like plucks it out of her hand and like tucks it in. Well, he's in his own apartment. I guess he'll leave it like on the counter or whatever and then be like, get out of my apartment.
I'd hate for you to cry, little sister.
Oh yeah, great. Like I've never heard that one before.
I mean, probably not in this day and age, but would you rather me call you Kiefer?
What, you want to be ordering Chinese food for dinner?
Didn't realize you had a sense of humor.
Once in a while. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell anyone else. And if I hear that you've threatened John with it.
Nah, I'm not gonna. Unless he's not what you think he is. I won't.
I doubt it.
Okay. Michael, do you lock your apartment?
Yes.
Okay. Last one out. You lock your apartment up, put all of the keys in your pocket. The H's are kind of leading the way, and all of you are marching to the coffee shop to get your morning fuel before you head over to the school. Michael, you do receive a quick text that just says, I'm up early. Gonna head to Vegas, see if he's there. ETA? Question mark?
Michael texts back and says, don't you dare go alone. We're getting something at the library first. Meet us there. Hour? Question mark.
He sends back a K, but this is typical for him. It's like not rude or anything. You can tell. You get the vibe.
Does it have the period?
No,
Okay.
just a K. Yeah. It's not an abrupt K. It is an affirmation K.
Scene.
Okay. You all start to walk towards this coffee shop, and as you kind of walk over one of the little hills and down, you see a familiar shock of teal hair standing outside of the coffee shop, kind of huddled over a latte.
Well, look who it is.
Hunter kind of looks up and does one of these as everybody approaches.
There's a cool guy now.
Oh, it's hi. And she like turns to the other two and she goes, Hottie, hacker, hi. And Lilith goes in to get coffee.
Haley holds up like her hand as she walks by and goes, thanks for calling me Hottie, and like offers you like a high five. They high five, they go inside.
Lilith follows.
As you kind of approach Kendra, Hunter kind of stops you for a second and is just like, what's up? If you don't want to talk to me, it's cool.
I plop down in front of Hunter before getting
Okay,
coffee.
there's like
Unheard
a little like cafe table outside. It's like, dawn at this point, but she's huddled up in her little drug rug.
Hunter, I want to start by saying I'm sorry for pretending I was Haley. I don't know what I was doing.
Listen, I kind of came here to apologize to you too. I should have been there last night.
We always do things together, and like from the start of the party, you weren't with us. It felt wrong.
Well, I don't know. I saw you with Rhea. I kind of thought that was a big signal to get lost.
Well, I mean, you've been hanging out with Michael a lot, so I thought I was
hung
getting
out
a
with
signal.
him twice. He doesn't even like me. Have you seen that guy? I'm fairly certain the only thing that makes him happy is cigarettes.
I don't know. I'm just having trouble navigating all of my feelings for you, Hunter.
She like kind of has both her hands around her little like coffee cup and like takes one off and puts it on the table and like leans back a little and like slides it out towards you.
I'm gonna put my hand over hers and you know, go from just on top to like holding.
She kind of looks at you and is just like, we should probably talk about this later. It's like uncool to have this conversation in front of a coffee shop.
Looking around, everyone. Hunter, I don't care if it's cool or not. Maybe it's because I'm sleep deprived or something. Maybe it's because we almost died. I don't know, but I just feel like I have to say this before we do anything.
Died?
I mean, we kind of tried to get you in the loop. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm letting this go.
I can't believe I missed this, but also that's like really hot.
I know, it was actually very sexy. I was like running in the night. People were like getting into the water and like it was pretty sexy. Yeah,
You've like got all the information and you're like pulling the strings here and like you've got it so put together and I just, you know,
I'm put together. I'm only put together because of you.
I'm only put together because of you.
Looking back around and knowing that we're still, you know, around other people, I'm just gonna be like, Hunter, I love you.
She's just gonna squeeze your hand.
See, I have this vision that Michael like bought a coffee, took it outside, lit a cigarette, is not drinking the coffee, is sitting at the table, and fully is just sitting there like listening. And is also just like texting and like all of the information that we just learned and discussed, like all of it to Jean.
He's just chilling there. We're like, yeah.
He's like totally just like, oh my god.
Hunter like looks over her shoulder and like looks at this guy and it's like, come here, come on, and like picks up your hand and like pulls you over like around the like side of the little coffee shop and there's like ivy growing up the side of this building and she
oh my god,
just
it's
like
gorgeous.
She like grabs both your wrists and like pulls you in and just goes, I've loved you for a really long time.
I'm gonna kiss Hunter.
They're gonna kiss.
Oh, it's
so
passionate. It's a
Absolutely.
kiss that has been waiting to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do you do from here? Hunter like she like breaks from the kiss and like sort of stands there like really breathlessly for a second. So, do you like need me with you for the rest of the day?
I need you with me always. And she goes back in for another kiss.
Okay, yeah. She kisses you again and then pulls it back and is like, wait, no, seriously. Like, are you gonna be okay out there? I know you're really together, like you've got it. You're completely on top of it. And those people, honestly, I don't know what they've got going on, but they do seem to have it figured out. I'm like a sideline kind of gal, but are you okay?
I don't feel like I have it all figured out when you're not around.
I'll come with you.
Thanks. I'm gonna grab her hand and sort of start walking towards the front of the coffee shop. And then, recognizing that I don't have my phone, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I only use Apple Pay. I don't have any card. Wait, do you think you could get my coffee?
Babe, I got it.
Okay.
She knows your order exactly and like walks inside and gets it for you. And then like
I'm in love with this couple.
you know You know, like the little seal that they like put on the corner of the cup. She like takes it out and like cleans it off with her mouth and like gives it to you. And like in the trash. There you go.
Thanks,
The rest of you inside getting fuel. Does anyone want to do anything in the period of time that these two lovebirds are hanging out, having their heart to heart?
Lilith has gotten an absolute monstrosity of a sugary drink. Not one, but two of them, and puts one in front of Kate. And like, yeah. Yep.
Ew, no.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
with like 2 black coffees though, and I'm just like, okay.
I'm gonna grab one of the black coffees.
You're no fun, and she takes both of them. And
Is it like a 2-straw situation?
Yup.
Like, nice.
she's gonna die of sugar overload by the end of this episode. It's
Wonderful. Bernie
have
kind of goes, well, I'll pay for that one if you don't want it.
well, you can have it. You don't have to pay for it. You got the snacks.
Thank you. Bernie takes it and is like, this is really sweet.
Michael's very specifically in the shade outside, like smoking.
He's been out there for quite some time at this point. Kate, you get a single black coffee.
Yeah.
Ria, do you get anything?
Could I also get a shot of espresso to drop in it?
Yeah, you want a red eye?
Yeah.
All right, that'll be $3.95.
All right.
Okay. Anything for you? Barista kind of turns to Ria.
I mean, I have the black coffee that I already had.
Okay. Are you guys like together or separate?
I am buying.
Okay, thank you. And she like takes the card and swipes it and hands it back to you. You guys make a cute couple. You match. You're wearing the same jacket. I'm sorry to assume.
Turns red and turns away. And leaves like $3 as a tip.
Okay. That's a good tip, man. All right. You go ahead and get your fuel. Michael, what exactly are you texting to Jean?
More or less just like because they had talked about. Well, Jean had asked him to like kind of try to figure out what was going on with the rest of this gang. So it's sort of a rundown of a lot of what Bernie was saying and like what Lilith was saying and like kind of just a roundup of info.
Okay. He texts you back like 10 minutes later. You've probably gone through like 2 cigarettes at this point. And he's just like, okay. Sounds about right. Vega's here. I don't know
Where?
if I can hold him off.
Does he know you're there?
I'm in my office.
But we need to go to the library.
He just texts you, hurry up.
Michael will get up and kind of open the door to the coffee shop and like look around and see if everybody's like goofing off or whatever the hell is going on in here. It's time to go.
At this point, everybody gets a text on their phone all at the same time.
Does Lilith have a phone?
Didn't she? She had a phone, right?
I don't think she did.
I'm
She
not
never got
sure
a text
she
in the
did.
first one.
Okay.
She'll peer over someone's shoulder. She's a nosy
Yeah,
bitch.
Bernie is there with you. You're both like halfway through your frappuccinos at this point. Really getting just super sugar high. And you all see a text from the school that says, due to an incident, classes are canceled for the day on the liberal arts and fine arts campuses. Additionally, the fountain is closed for repairs.
How did the fountain look when we left it?
It was on.
We didn't like smash it or anything, did we?
looked entirely fine.
Have we ever gotten this kind of alert before? Like,
Michael, you get another text that says, made sure it was empty for you.
It'll sound like a question mark.
Campus, no students. Stay safe.
He'll like THX. Thanks.
Okay. All right, are you all heading towards the school?
Yes.
Kendra, you are muted.
Kendra and I are holding pinkies, and we're walking that way.
Oh, you're absolutely holding pinkies. When she notices that your drink is done, she like takes it and puts it in the trash for you. Everybody
Goals.
walking forward, doing their thing. Is there a particular marching order? Who's heading up the charge?
I'm looking to Michael.
I would assume Michael would be, and I would be up there with.
Yeah, I mean, he's totally like, he's just gonna walk, and if people want to walk behind him, they can. Like,
Michael's walking like gay speed, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's still carrying that coffee he did not drink.
Oh yeah, okay. Looks incredibly cool doing it. Sunglasses down. Okay. So you guys approach the library portion of the school and you notice that the campus is eerily quiet. The like outer reaching area is, you know, dotted with students here and there, but as soon as you get to the fountain, you notice that it is dead empty. Everybody taking advantage of a sudden day off. The doors to the library are unusually closed. Usually they're wide open, letting students filter in and out, but you can approach and move throughout. The left side of the building has Dr. Vega's office, the dean's office, a couple of their administrative offices. The right-hand side has classrooms, and the center has the library. Where would you like to go first?
I think Michael would head for the library doors, the main library doors.
Okay.
But I mean, to the group, he's like, we gotta move. Vega's already here.
On the walk, I've been downloading Hunter about what's been going on, detailing everything.
Okay.
The fountain, the library, smoke monster, everything we've got so far. Bernie.
Okay.
On the walk over to Lilith would try to catch up with Kate and figure out why she's been on campus for so long when she knew that she didn't get along with Vega and what's going on with her masters and all that. And we don't need to like go one, we could speedrun this. But she is trying to listen to your struggles thoughtfully.
Take your time.
Okay. You catch up to Kate very easily as you guys are walking. It's a clear day, but it is kind of cold. And Lilith, you notice that like that hoodie that was wet yesterday is still not completely dry. So you're walking forward, but Kate, the usual picture of total coolness, and I assume that Rhea is right next to her.
Yeah, see her peeling this thing off and struggling with it, so, like sticking to her and fighting it. So, Kate, why didn't you go on? Why'd you stay here? You hate this guy. He made your life miserable.
You.
Why? Did you know I was dead, or did you just think I was being a really bad student and couldn't graduate and kept going to the same class?
You were in the fountain.
Oh, shit, you saw that. So, what, did you find me?
No. I mean, no, I just knew about it. We were students at the time. It was kind of a big deal.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, but why, like...
You came back.
Really? Well, I guess, yeah, now I'm assuming, but This is all very new.
And you kind of knew me and you kind of didn't, and you were just looping, and I wanted to do something.
You were gonna stay here and keep trying to do something for gods know how long, even though he made your life miserable?
Yeah. You're my best friend.
My best friend. She's gonna like try and knock you, but like kind of forget that she could actually touch people now, and like more so fling herself the other way. Like, oh shit, wasn't expecting that. Could she use her transference, which is when you listen to someone else's struggles, they can heal one harm?
Yes, you
And please-
absolutely may.
You're only hurt for one, right? Do you have more
Yeah,
harm?
no, I'm only here for one.
Okay, good, because otherwise the
Incredible.
rest goes to me.
What does it look like as you kind of like filter this information? And you said you went to like bop her, right?
Yeah.
What does it look like when like your hand finally makes contact and you like pass your healing on?
That's bright, sparkly light.
Kate, as your friend sort of claps you on the shoulder, that dark energy that you use, that you funnel, feels a little calmer. And you know the next spell that you cast? It's gonna be a fucking bitch. Take one forward.
Nice.
Hey.
All right. Michael. Marching forward, the three of you in the back, Kendra and Hunter, hand in hand, all approach this
Pinky and Pinky.
library. Pinky and Pinky. She kisses your hand. You approach this library. What are you looking for exactly?
Book from the very beginning.
Okay.
Mhm.
How do you go about that?
Well, the last place we saw it, I think, is probably the place to start.
Okay. So I believe that you guys were in the back right-hand corner of the library, and it was on a rather high shelf, and you put it back somewhere on an even higher shelf to hide it from people.
Yeah, Michael would definitely go there first, just to see if it's still there, because he knows that Vega knows about it, but not what its import is or what
Well,
part it
well,
plays.
Okay.
Talk to Bernie and see if Bernie, like, what books
Bernie-
she was looking at and where she put them.
Bernie kind of leans over to both of you and just goes, you know, I kind of took over one of the, like, study tables in the back, but I tried to put everything back when I was done, and I didn't touch that other book again. Do you really think that Dr. Vega is looking for it? And as you all walk into the library and kind of walk past stack by stack, the lights above you, the big fluorescents that hang down from the tiled ceiling, start to flicker a little bit. The farther in you go, following Michael's lead as he kind of looks stack by stack by stack, going back row and row into this library. Michael, roll to gaze into the abyss for me.
Not great, it's a 4.
Okay. You are looking and looking, trying to pass through all of the spines of these books, looking for that gold one that had that writing in it. And you notice that along the stacks of books, there seems to be a little bit of that smoke. And the lights keep flickering. all of a sudden, all of the lights in the library go. They all turn off. You're in the dark. Doesn't seem like that book is here.
Anybody else got anything?
Do you think Vega knew about the book and tried to take it?
Well, he knew. Bernie told him, so maybe. This didn't start until we found it. I don't know what it means. I don't think any of us do.
Well, he might have come in here and found it. I kind of feel like we should get over there.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm ready to give him another piece of my mind.
Do we need to go check in with the dean first?
He's there already.
At Vegas?
Close enough. The office is...
I think we should get over there then.
Alright.
It's awfully brave of him to stay there all day with this going on.
Question. Is the smoke visible to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Could I try to gaze into the abyss?
Are you looking for the book?
Yeah,
Sure. Are you using your +1?
I am.
Okay.
That's a 10 total.
Okay. Realizing that this is kind of a dead end for you guys and that Michael doesn't seem to be finding it, you walk a couple of stacks in either direction, trying to find this book. And you notice, all of you, that on the floor, there seems to be a little bit more smoke. And Kate, as you approach one of the stacks towards the end, you notice there's a hole that's about that book size. Empty. Seems like Vega took the book.
Well, if anyone's sitting on any big secrets, now's the time.
Michael, you get a text. I didn't listen.
He swears and starts and says, like, we gotta get over there, and starts running towards the faculty offices.
Okay.
Follow.
The end of that text says, he's in his office.
Michael doesn't reply. He's just headed that way.
Running. Okay. Bernie's following you guys, all of you kind of rushing out of the library, trying to get out of there at a reasonable clip, and you approach the door and realize that the door has been shut and locked. What do you do?
Locked in a way that it can't be unlocked?
You could try. It could be unlocked.
Yeah, like, he'll try to unlock it.
Oh, you have the key, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll to keep your cool, remembering that you have that.
Keep having to remember what to add to rolls, man.
Cool is cold.
Yeah. So 10.
Okay. You very calmly reach into your pocket, realizing that you have this key to the library, and just go, my lucky day, and kind of push it open. The entire hallway that was light when you first walked in is now completely dark, except for a few of those flickering fluorescents. And down the hallway with the offices, you do hear one familiar scream. Michael, that sounds like Sean.
He's gonna like real quickly just glance at everybody else and start like sprinting.
Okay. Bernie kind of turns to the rest of you and just goes, I think I'm starting to remember things.
Bernie, what do you remember?
Whatever's in Dr. Vivega's office, we might have to take it down.
What is it? Take what down? Like a picture?
Like the monster.
Oh boy.
Want us a smoke monster.
Listen, I've watched Lost. I don't know what's happening, but
Neither did
lost
J.J.
either.
Abrams, but that didn't stop him.
Where's the polar bear?
all right. There is a single polar bear that crosses your path as you run down this hallway and dart
Framed
your
picture.
way, dart your way down this hallway.
Lens flare.
Okay. What is the marching order? Michael in front. I would assume.
Sprinting, yeah. So
Absolutely sprinting. Okay.
I'll
I got my gang with me.
Gang's with you, girlfriend in hand.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we haven't made it official yet.
Okay.
We're just like madly in
we'll
love.
talk-
We're just like madly in love.
yeah,
we haven't found the
you're
opportunity to
bolstered.
talk about that, really.
Yeah, you're bolstered by the possibility at this time running down the
And a
hallway.
little
Are
bit of
you directly
caffeine in my
behind-
system.
Yes, caffeine,
No
sugar,
sleep.
adrenaline, serotonin. You are directly behind Michael.
Yes.
Yes. Who's next?
I'd be up close because I know that like Michael would need me. He
Okay.
couldn't do it on his own. So.
All right.
Yeah.
You, as you kind of step into lockstep, you look over at each other, and there's that moment of recognition and like, yeah, we got this. Kind of nod. Rhea, what are you doing?
Running with everyone else.
Absolutely. At your like primo adrenaline, like primo, your athlete's instincts have completely kicked in. You've shed your like warm up, and there's just like the muscle, the
Guns out.
absolute guns out. You know, the sleeves off the shirt.
is there a
As
lacrosse
you're walking
stick?
as you're walking down the hallway, you reach down and realize there's a broom here, and just crack it over your knee, and you have a stick in hand, ready to take down anything that you have. Bringing up the rear, I would assume Lilith, unless you fall into lockstep with everyone.
I'll be taking up the rear.
All right, right next to you is Bernie. She's holding a very large dictionary that she pulled out of the library, kind of on the side of her shoulder, and it's like, you got this?
Got this.
We got this.
We got
She's running forward too. All right. I'm going to need each of you to roll me 2d6s as you enter this office. Michael, you throw open the door. Black smoke pouring out of the doorway as you swing the door open. And as you sort of blink and the smoke clears, what was your roll?
I rolled 7.
Okay, you walk into the office and the smoke completely overwhelms you, but you swear out of the corner of your eye, you see a glint in the middle of the room, and then you hear another loud scream. Kate, next up.
6.
You see the same, this glinting through the smoke. You hear the scream. You start to like make sense of your surroundings. You've been in here before. +1 makes that a 7. What else would you like to do in here?
Okay. So, kind of like quickly racking my memory, is there anything that in my meetings with him that physically he would covet? Like that I would have clocked that like he gravitates
his laptop
towards
is in the middle of his desk. So you have that.
Yeah, I will. Can I run to grab the laptop, and it's Heidi is the hacker, or is Haley?
Heidi.
Heidi is the hacker, yeah.
And I'll nod to Heidi and
hacker, hi.
toss it over.
Okay.
her.
Heidi reaches up and catches it and like cracks it open and it's like, don't worry, it's good, I got this. And she kind of starts like, you know, doing her little hacker thing. Next in the room, Kendra. Bolstered by love. What do you do?
7.
All right. You see Kate making these like big bold strides right into the room, and you walk directly in. You see like some glimmering through the smoke, but it is difficult to kind of make out. What do you do?
When Heidi gets the laptop and starts decoding there, I'm just going to, I don't know, are there any just random bookshelves around that I can just like double check that the book isn't sitting there, or his
absolutely.
desk?
There's 2 bookshelves on the other side of the desk if you wanted to like run back there and like start tearing through it.
That's what I would be doing.
Okay, go ahead, roll me 2 d6s. Roll with cold. Keep your cool here.
Roll with cold, okay.
Absolutely. Rhea, as you sort of walk into this room, watching Kate start to take charge, remembering exactly the way that she just continues to keep kind of rolling through the punches. What's your next punch?
I mean, I feel like I would run in. If we're like actually sprinting, it would be like battle cry, and then I would like walk into this room very confused, but I've got an 8.
Okay, all right. With an 8, you see this beautiful woman that you've just made this connection with grabbing this laptop, and you go, okay. And you walk around the desk, and noticing through the smoke as things sort of start to clear, you roll back the computer chair as if to like sit in it, and you notice that there's a grate on the floor in the center of this room with the mat that the chair is usually on top of like pulled aside very slightly, so just the corner of this little hunk of metal.
How heavy is this desk?
It's pretty heavy. It's like a solid wood, like nice, like presidential style desk.
Okay, I feel like I would definitely just like then put my weight against it and like push it back a little bit so there was more space.
Absolutely.
And then be like, there's something here.
You know what? I think it's kind of hot to like do a big like feat of strength like this. Go ahead and roll me plus hot.
Okay.
Kendra, what was your roll?
7 plus my cold.
All right, you were looking for some hint, like some clue on this bookshelf. You reach out onto this bookshelf and you find this manila folder that has Lilith's name on it. You pull it down and look at it in your hands.
I call Lilith over as I start to open it up.
Okay. You go ahead and open it up, and it's a record of every time that Vega has faked her entrance forms, every time that he's faked her into a class. And you find the very first entry.
What's the? I would immediately look on the date for the very first entry.
1983.
This
All
is
right.
some one last stop BS right here.
Rhea, as you push this desk, with, like straining with all your might, trying to get it off of this grate so that you can get down. Michael, you hear another scream from inside it. What do you do, Rhea? What's your roll?
In classic trying to impress someone fashion, I got a 4.
All right, you're straining against it. This desk is fucking solid. It is really difficult for you to push it off of this rug. However, Michael is right there to assist you if you would like the help. What do you do?
Is it clear that the glint we were seeing in the middle of the room is the grate?
It is.
Okay. Then yeah, if he's like, okay, great, trouble moving the desk, like putting the pieces together, then like, yeah, he'll grab the desk and help move it.
Okay. All right. Between the two of you, I would say it's a guaranteed success. Both of you sort of push it off, and you are able, Rhea, to pull the rug off of the grate, and you look up at everybody in the room and kind of go and nod. Big cool girl nod. Michael, top of the round. What do you do?
How big is the grate?
It's big enough to climb into.
Then yeah, he'll try to lift the grate out of its fitting.
Okay, roll me 2d6.
Do I add anything? I got an 11, so
Okay. That's a pretty good success. I would say add your hot, but
13.
that's kind of overkill. Okay, cool. With a 13, you reach down and go to pick up both sides of this grate, and you guys all watch as Michael's completely insane vampire strength rips all of the screws out of this grate, and he tosses it aside. It indents itself in the drywall in the corner of this room, and he just goes, what does he do?
Does it just go straight down?
Straight down staple rungs on the side.
Yeah, I mean he's going down in there.
All right. Does he say anything on his way in?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. I think like he'll do one glance around at everyone, but like he's pretty focused.
You know what? On a 13, I think Michael jumps. And you guys watch him just disappear into this grate. Complete confidence. Total cool guy maneuver. You hear his hands and like cool Doc Martens make contact with the staples like halfway down, and then like the scrambling downward into the smoke and into the dark. What do you guys do?
I'll look over at Rhea and go, you want to go down? And then I'll start climbing down.
I'm done with you.
I would follow.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So,
turn to
yeah.
Lilith and say something clever. All right, Heather, let's go. Start walking towards
Oh no, I've been
an honorary
adopted.
H. Yeah, an honorary H.
Oh yeah. The other H's go, hey, like in unison. But Haley is like, I'm gonna stay up here. I've almost got this, and is like, tacking away on the computer. Everybody else, down the rabbit hole we go. And as you descend down this manhole into this secret room underneath Vega's office, you hear vague chanting. And as the smoke starts to clear, with the book in his hands, you see Vega and this giant, venomous smoke mass behind him, stuck to the wall, writhing and filling your lungs and your eyes with its terrifying presence. Now, you'll have one more layer action before we are in what is essentially initiative order. What would you like to do? Oh, I should mention, Jean's passed out and inside the smoke monster. Michael, you first.
I'm gonna use my hypnotic move again
Okay.
to try to demand that the monster let him go.
All right. What do you roll for that?
Hot.
Okay.
And I rolled a 10.
Okay. That sounds like a success. What do you say?
He just like super loudly commands like let him go,
Okay.
and really like engages his like hypnosis ability on the creature.
All right. You reach out with all of your senses to see if this works. You notice that Jean drops 2 feet from where he was, and the monster catches it again. I need you to roll 1d6. This will be equivalent to harm.
3.
All right. It does look like it had a little bit of an effect, but Dr. Vega still maintaining his concentration, still summoning this thing. It's gonna take a little bit more than that. All right. Kate, you're next.
Might I, looking at Dr. Vega, I would like to penetrate his mind.
Okay. What does that look like?
So I think when I use my magic, my eyes go black. But with this particular one, there's like these like almost neon blue wisps that kind of fluctuate in the
storm
black
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to find out surface level thoughts and then maybe influence.
Okay.
Ooh, no. Yeah, that's 5.
All right, you reach out with this energy trying to see what is going on in there, and you just hear whispering, layered over whispering, this whoosh, 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 kind of sound, and it drowns out your ears and completely overtakes your mind as the spell gets reflected back onto you. Roll me a d6 and split it in half.
1.
Thankfully, you can tell that there's a little bit of something still in there. A little bit of something that you can reach. The monster takes 1 harm, but this seriously incapacitated you. You no longer have that move.
Okay.
All right.
I also maxed out my experience just then.
Okay, awesome. So you have all your moves right now.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, next. I believe that was Kendra.
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to do in this situation? We are freeing Bernie, we are freeing Lilith, we are getting everybody's memories back, and you're gonna get the girl.
What more could a girl dream of?
I know.
I guess I'm going to like assist Michael any way that I could, trying to free Jean.
Okay. Do you run up and do this physically, or are you gonna like make a catty remark? What are you gonna do to try and assist Michael in this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was going to run up and make my presence known to Michael, sort of behind him. But yeah, I guess, of course, I would be both landing in this underground area and as I walk forward, leading off with some catty remarks about the smoke monster and how he couldn't get anything done if he tried.
Oh.
And that we're here to shut it down. Shut it down.
Okay. You walk up behind Michael, and as you sort of say, you know what? Shut this thing down. Both of you go ahead and roll me a d6.
It's the community support,
It is
I only rolled a 1, but
I rolled a 6, so we're kind of...
Oh my god. All right. It seems like this monster did not really take kindly to that, and you watch Jean as his face kind of pulls backwards and gets completely covered by this goo monster. Lilith, roll to stare into the abyss for me.
What? It's an 8.
Okay. As you guys watch this monster take this damage, the smoke swirling around you, this awful substance starting to pool around your ankles and starting to reach out, tendrils start to bite at your ankles, Lilith, and it becomes very difficult for you to hold your own. Bernie on one side has her hand on your arm and is like, it's okay, you've got this, I promise it's gonna be all right, we'll get your memories back. Everything's gonna be okay. You have to fight it off. All of you have to fight it off. Rhea, what do you do as this monster is starting to get at your ankles and move up your calves and your shins?
I mean, I would hit it with my little stick.
All right, you're gonna whip out some sick bow staff moves right now. Roll plus hot.
That'll be 9?
All right, you know what's freaking cool? A 6-foot vertical leap. You jump up and immediately start wailing on this thing, absolutely destroying it. And this area around you, the smoke monster and the rest of the goose are still like peel back. But Lilith, you still have to resist. Rhea, roll me a d6 for damage. Lilith, roll me to stare into the abyss one more time to keep your resolve. What did you say?
2.
2. Okay. You still dealt some sick damage on this thing. Lilith, go ahead.
12.
You got a 12. Okay.
Yeah.
With your friend at your side, with everyone around you starting to sort of wail on this monster, you notice that it's getting smaller and smaller, and Vega's concentration is getting worse and worse and worse. And now it seems that he's able to make eye contact with you, albeit all of his vision seems empty, his eyes completely black. What do you do? To hurt the monster or to get at him?
Can I go for the book and try and tear out of his grasp?
Absolutely, you can. How are you approaching this? Are you just gonna run up and try and grab it? Are you gonna say something? What do you want this to look like?
I think like a couple careful steps, since I'm assuming it's still like wrapping around her feet, so just make sure she doesn't get pulled off. But she's gonna like just reach up full grip and be like, "You were a shit advisor," and try to rip it away.
Okay, as you take your steps, because of that really high roll, you notice that when your feet make contact with the ground, the smoke completely clears and the monster completely avoids you. You are able to put both your hands on this book and say what you need to say, and you notice that it burns your skin and you seem locked into it in the way that you felt locked in. And you notice that the tips of your fingertips start to go a little transparent. And this transparency starts to roll up your arms as you make contact with this book. Roll me a d6.
Wrong choice. Wrong choice. Oh, that's a 1.
Okay. That's still damage. You are able to notice that this monster is getting smaller and smaller, and the smoke starts to clear off of Jean's face, and he sort of like comes to a little bit and looks at you, Michael, and looks between you and Lilith and everybody in the room and goes, "You have to get the book." Michael, it is your turn.
Well, I had about the same idea that Lilith did, but I think he's probably like a step behind. He's gonna lash out physically and try to close his hand around Vega's throat.
Oof, okay. You walk up and you just go and reach your arm out, making contact underneath the like bone of his jaw. Do you want to pick him up?
Would love to pick him up.
Roll for hot.
Let's see, let me check my stat. That is a 7.
All right, that is a partial success. You are able to lift him off of the floor, and Lilith, unfortunately, is still connected to this book, so her hands are going with you as you pick him up, raise him up into the air, and just bare your fucking teeth at him. So he's dangling in the air. Roll me a d6 and double it.
8.
All right. You deal 8 points of damage to this creature, and his mouth falls open slack, or at least it would if it wasn't impeded by your hand. And you watch the smoke start to pour out of his mouth, but Jean falls to the floor limply as the monster takes its last breaths trying to pull its way back into Dr. Vega. Now, Kate,
Okay.
what do you do?
So,
All right.
So basically, they're trying to get the book away from Vega, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Vega still has a grip on it.
Vega has a grip on it. Lilith also has a grip on it because
Neat.
she's stuck.
That's cool. For Vega, I would like to now cast Wither and make his fingernails fall off so that he can no longer grip the book.
Ooh, all right. What are you rolling with for that?
That's plus my dark. It's a hex.
Plus your dark. Oof. All right.
That'll do it. And do I still have the +1 going forward too?
No, you used
Okay,
it.
that's fine. It's 11.
All right. 11 is still a full success. You guys all notice as each of his fingernails turn black and they start to hit the floor right in front of him, echoing through this chamber. The chanting rising from the floor and out of his throat, becoming incredibly loud. But Lilith, you are able to pull the book from his hands. Michael, you now have this guy with black smoke pouring out of him in your hands. Now, Kendra, it is your turn.
Yes. So, he no longer has the book in his hands?
He no longer has the book in his hands. Lilith has it in her hands. And she's going more and more transparent by the second. Now the, like, almost eggy kind of liquid, like, rising up her arms has started to overtake her face and her hair. Starting to go invisible again.
I'm gonna tell Lilith to drop the book, and then me and the girls will play hot potato with it in an attempt to not get it too on ourselves, you know?
Right, yes. So you're gonna walk up and you're gonna try and pull it out of Lilith's hands.
Mm-hmm. Or yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Hunter is there. She's never seen you, like, interfere in such a physical way before. Usually you are the one to show up with information. Usually you are the one to show up calm and cool and collected. And this bravery super inspires her. I need you to go ahead and roll with your hot +1.
+1. Okay, here we go.
Power of love, baby.
Oh my gosh. I got
You got
12, so that's 15.
Oh my god. All right, you walk right up to Lilith and pull it right out of her hands and whip the book backwards right into Haley's hands and then into Heidi's hands, and then Hunter grabs it and is holding it now, and Hunter looks down at you, Rhea. What do you do?
I am not part of the book Hot Potato, but I've seen that we are trying to hurt this man, so I would run up maybe behind him.
Okay.
And just, like, make a weird sound, and then, like, maybe stab him with the broken end of this pool, or this broomstick.
All right, where's it going?
Maybe I would stab, like, up into, like, the soft part of your middle.
All right,
behind.
so, like, straight through the stomach, cleave a man in twain is what we're doing right now.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Go ahead and roll plus cool so that you can, like, keep your composure while you do this.
Murder a dude. Oh, yeah, that'll be a 6.
Almost a success as you wind up and go to get it halfway through his stomach, but the stick is in there, and then you push down with all your body weight. Michael, you're trying to keep your composure here as this friend of yours is now trying to tear this dude in half, and you might be too. Who knows? But Rhea, Hunter's gonna throw you that book because you're closer to the middle of the action here. Go ahead, roll me a d6. Two. You deal 2 points of damage to this monster. Do you try and catch the book?
Instinctually, I would, yes, try and catch something that was thrown at me.
This is an automatic success because you are a sports woman. You catch
Jock.
it right out of the air. You look over at Lilith. She's slowly coming back to life. The smoke all seems to suck its way immediately into Dr. Vega. Limp in this person's arms. Stick straight through him. Lilith, what do you do?
I thought I was gonna do it. Is the smoke monster still on the wall?
Smoke monster is inside Dr. Vega. His eyes are black. It just like went inside him essentially. It is still visible. He's still got, stuff coming out of his mouth. His eyes are still dark. It's still fucking scary. However, it's no longer touching any of you. Book is still on the field.
And the smoke was moving away from her when she was moving, right?
Mm-hmm. It seems like you're pretty invincible to it.
She's gonna try and grab his wrist and see if she can get the smoke to leave him somehow, and just get the fuck out of him.
What do you say?
Get the fuck out of him!
Roll with any modifier.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with cold.
All
That's
right.
my biggest number. Can I use my forward from before that I did not use?
Absolutely, you can.
That's a 10.
Okay. A full success. You reach out, grab onto his wrist, say, "Get the fuck out." His head knocks back, and right through the hole from whence you all came in, this giant smoke monster goes flying straight out of him into the sky, out of the room. Vega collapses completely limp. Pretty mortally wounded.
Oh, I
The
guess we
dean
should
of
have thought I'd do
students
that.
is passed out in the corner. But Lilith, you did it. Everybody did it.
Yay!
What do you do?
As soon as he goes limp, Michael will let him go and kind of,
Collapses to the floor immediately.
kind of doesn't care about that. And runs over to Jean immediately to check that he's okay.
All right. He's kind of coming to, on the ground.
He'll
Blinks his eyes open.
sit him up, and be right up in his face, making sure he's okay.
He's like, "I'm really sorry I didn't listen to you.
You fucking idiot.
Listen, I had to try and save your friend and he was... You got him?"
Lilith is trying to pad the wound with her sopping wet sweater still.
You're trying to
Take
save
first
him?
aid. Yeah?
Okay.
It's well, I think the smoke creature got away, but it seems like, I guess.
Is the book still here?
Please tell me they're
Yeah.
still playing Hot Potato. Hot Potato's still going.
Rhea has it.
Well, but are you okay?
Michael, I swear I'm fine. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
That's all I wanted.
Then you shouldn't have gone in alone.
Well, I guess I gotta learn my lesson.
Well, you've always been stupid, so.
Right back at you, kid.
Michael will fist a hand in the front of his shirt, and at first it seems kind of angry, and then he'll kiss him.
He kisses you right back. You want me to help your friends?
I hesitate to call them my friends, but sure.
Listen, you gotta have some of them sometime. Let's take care of this thing.
Yeah, alright.
He pushes your hair back off your forehead. All right.
Michael smiles a tiny bit, which no one has ever seen him do.
Okay. They all, both of you are able to like walk up towards this book. Rhea, you still have it in your hands. What do you do?
Would definitely just be like holding it limply at my side, having just helped kill a dude.
Lilith on the ground. He's not dead yet, I think. I don't know.
He is not
Kick
dead.
him.
How much
like
do we
in the leg.
care?
He's not alive. He's not dead, but he is not unalived. You could save him if you wanted to. It is up to the party whether or not they would like to commit a murder, because sometimes in TTRPGs murder is okay.
I'm sorry to say Michael doesn't care,
Yeah.
but he has killed people before.
I love Monster.
I'd just be having a moment about like watching some dude die in front of me, not having dealt with this. I'd be like, hold this book, someone.
Well, Lilith is trying to stop his bleeding.
I'm not gonna help. Like he was a smoke monster a second ago.
Michael
I
helps
think he's
John
pretty
up
bad.
and like they go over to the party.
He goes with you. He reaches out and goes, "Give me the book."
It's
Hello?
your chance to be a witch. Rhea, it's your chance to be a witch. Don't do it.
Rhea,
I would hold it. I would hold it out to him. I have no need of this book.
He takes it and he goes, "Do you want me to rip it in half?"
you're the one who knows what it does.
Ugh. And he like does a phone book tear and just like completely fucking.
Like in his professor sweater?
Yeah.
God damn.
Right? He's just tearing books in half.
There's a
in his
lot
little
of things you
sweater.
don't know about me. Anyway. Do we want to try and save him or do we want to try and hide this?
It looks like the smoke monster left. Do you
Yeah.
think we really need to?
Ass
Do we
without
think we really
sweater.
need to condemn him?
I
Still
mean,
don't know if it
on-
was him or if he was possessed or something.
I think he's a dick, but I guess that's something we can find out later.
Is he a dick who was doing it of his own free will or not?
Honestly, I don't know. And from the corner of the room, you hear Heidi go, "Ahem. Well, seems like it was free will, because we got some dirt over here."
Yeah, what did you find out? I go over and peek over her
Here,
shoulder.
hacker.
Are you ready for a smear campaign?
Lay it on me.
All right. She has all the details of everything that Dr. Vega has been doing, from hiding students in the registry to making sure that the powers that be, or whatever eldritch monster that he had inside him, was continuing to be fed. All of the details of every one of you and all of his plans to seek out all of you and keep you in the fountain. Seems like you guys all made it out.
Wait, have you guys been in the fountain too? Or is he planning on putting you in the fountain?
It looks like it was a plan.
Well, it's gonna like let go.
Well, I haven't had lunch yet. I mean,
Eat up, buddy. That sounds like the best use of resources here currently, given all the information we finally have.
Sean just looks at you and goes, "That's kind of gross."
it was a joke. Whatever.
You know who's gross? This guy. I thought he was gross when I knew he was sleeping with his students. All of this? Come on.
Yeah,
I'm not helping this guy.
that's fair. Well, I can help him disappear.
Hmm,
I won't tell if you don't.
fine with me.
Another eldritch horror for the books then, guys.
Another?
Well, let's not make another book. That's probably a good first step.
Michael, did you ever finish that coffee? I could use it right now.
I have no idea what happened to it.
Did he like cartoon throw it like behind himself when he was running?
Probably,
Running.
yeah.
I don't know. All of his actions so far could have been done one-handed. He did jump down the grate.
That's true. He's just had a black
He's just like
coffee in his hand this
grabbing
whole
someone
time.
by the neck, just still holding the coffee.
Yeah.
Let's say he put it down in the library, because then if one of the H's like happens to have it for some reason, like
Sure. You know what? Hunter walks up and hands it to you.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Climbing out of this hole, body of this asshole in tow. Everybody's sort of feeling a little tired, sleep deprived, but accomplished. Is there anything anyone else would like to do as the sun is high in the sky and the campus is eerily quiet and empty? The fountain humming its gentle background white noise as you exit the library.
Hunter and I are just gonna take each other's hands and recognize that we need to talk.
Yeah, I think we gotta talk. We've had a lot of coffee, but like, do you want to get some coffee?
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. She like leads you off.
Looking back at everyone, Kendra's just gonna kind of wave and be like, okay, see y'all in class.
fun, lovebirds.
They walk off. They have fun.
They do.
Kate?
I'll kind of I'll cool guy nod to Michael and then kind of like shoulder check Lilith and be like, I'll catch up with you later. And then I'll grab Rhea and be like, do you want to go somewhere and not talk?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Just walk off.
Okay. You can get back on the Vespa if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Rhea pilots your scooter. Very cool fashion on the way back to what I assume is her apartment. Okay. Lilith, what would you like to do?
She will harass Michael for the keys to the apartment.
Well, I was gonna say that I think that he looks at Lilith at least and is kind of like, well, it was your apartment first. If
Yeah.
you want to stick around for a while.
If you don't mind, I got nowhere else to go in. You seem like a cool roommate.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Fridge is all yours, though.
Yes. I'm gonna go grocery shopping. Keys.
He'll unhook the apartment key and be like, "Can you get a copy of this made? I only."
I think
like
so. Like I can't go through doors anymore. That's it's gonna take getting used to. But
It's like $2. Just go to the hardware store.
yeah, I'm gonna like break my nose one of these times. I keep walking into it.
Well, yeah, don't walk into the door. Get the key
Right.
copy.
Okay.
Whatever.
She'll take the copy and have fun and
Yeah, see you later.
grab Bernie and go buy snacks.
Brittany goes with you. She's like, well, have you been grocery shopping in the last 25 years?
Nope.
Have you been grocery shopping in the last 40 years?
I honestly don't know.
So there's this thing from Europe. It's called Nutella. and she like like on the way to the grocery store.
Best ending ever. It's just snackathon.
Yeah. You guys go shop. It's wonderful. All right, Michael. John is there. Do you want to like leave him here or deal with him or what do you?
I don't know. You're Mr. Cleans Up Eldritch Horrors, apparently.
All right.
Mr. Oh, I'm just some harmless dean of students in a tweed jacket who collects guitars.
Yeah. Can we stick to that story? I kind of like it better than all this.
Well, I won't say I don't have questions, but sure.
I can tell you back at my place.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I need to take care of this. You want to get us takeout?
Yeah, sure. What, the Thai place?
Yeah. Do you mind?
And you don't need help with...
Trust me with this one. I got it. I mean, unless you're hungry.
He seems like he'd taste bad.
He probably does, yeah. I wouldn't know, but... Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I'll stick with co-eds. They taste like ramen.
That's gross. That's really gross, actually. Do you like the taste of Thai food?
It's alright.
We can talk about that later. He goes, flips his keys in his hand, walks forward. Gonna take care of that body. Meet you at home.
Yeah, sure.
Got it. All right. With that, the day comes to a close. Everyone in their respective little lives feeling a little bit lighter, but I think it's an early bedtime for everybody. Unless you're all real college co-eds and you're all just gonna live on caffeine, which I do respect.
Still valid.
Still valid. I think that's where we're gonna close for the night, guys. Thank you very much for playing this huge mess.
Thank you for guiding us through this monster.
It's on my best. You've done it again. You've defeated the eldritch horror inside of the school.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And had fun doing it while looking great.
You looked
Everybody
great.
got some action.
Everybody got to kiss someone. Wonderful. Love to see it. The whole
Lola
point
did not like that suggestion, by the way. I don't know if that picked up at all.
I did hear her.
Lilith got some snacks and isn't wet anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lilith alive. Lilith has history. A lot of stuff.
Powerful.
Powerful.
And she's an honorary H now.
It's true. It's true.
That's right. Yeah.
Why would you
All right.
Rolls
lead
deep
us
with the
through this?
H's.
Sure. Is it time for us to do shout outs?
Hell yeah.
I think he knows who starts.
Yeah, all right, it's always me. I don't know, hey, we're in a different order. Maybe it wasn't me this time. But hello, everybody. I'm Dusty, short for Elegant Feather Duster. You can find me places like Instagram, where I post cosplay stuff, here on Twitch, where I stream video games on Fridays. I'm currently playing Jedi Fallen Order, which is one of my favorite games, and I'm having a lot of fun playing that. And also on Twitter, where I'm just Elegant Feather, because there's a character limit, and sometimes life is like that. So come say hi to me. And thanks for watching us all goof around as monsters.
All right. Hi.
Hello, I am Kyla Cosplay on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I am probably doing something like watching Dusty do stuff.
Wonderful. In my place, Kendra. Riley Hot Sauce.
Hi, my name is Riley Hot Sauce. You can find me in various places all over the internet under the name Riley Hot Sauce. On TikTok and on Instagram. I'm very close to, if I can plug myself for a sec, I'm very close to 10K on Instagram.
Ooh.
We're so close.
Make
So
it happen, folks.
Let's
Hold on.
do it.
We're making
You heard it here
happen.
first.
Other than that, maybe you'll see me back around these parts someday.
I sure hope so.
I hope so too.
If I have anything to say about it, yes.
But Donnie,
Ah, crap. Well done. I'm doing posts for Riley. Okay. Hi! Badoni Cosplay, Badoni Italic, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I don't post a whole lot right now, so no bothers. Go watch
worth a
Dusty's
follow.
stream. Yeah. Just bank on it for when I do the info dump, which is bound to happen eventually. And Lola pics, which are actually overdue. I need to post more Lola pics.
This is true.
it's true. Dr. Psycho.
Ooh, that's me. Hi, I'm Dr. Psych Owl. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Dr. Psych Owl, except for on Twitter, where I'm Dr. Psych Owl TV. Hashtag still not bitter. I can't believe it's not bitter. I
still want channel shirts that just say hashtag not bitter. Like,
yes.
We can make that happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm working on a lot of like props and stuff. So like follow me on the things because there's probably gonna be a drop pretty soon of some stuff. Yeah. I think you should all watch Dusty's stream on Fridays. Also, Dusty, you didn't mention the other thing that you're doing on this channel that you probably should.
I probably should mention that if you guys remember, back in May, we did this awesome one-shot, we did some other awesome one-shots, and we also played a cowboy game. Well, the super good news is we're going to be starting a new short campaign based on that game, starring a lot of the same characters, super soon, although I actually don't have the date immediately in my hand right now, so if somebody else has that date, that would be great. But it will be on alternating Thursdays on this channel, starting on the 12th of next month. So August 12th, we are going to be starting a campaign. Welcome to Blackwater.
Cowboys.
Everybody's going to have to practice their Texan accents.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get your yees and your hot ready, folks.
I'm just gonna say that that's not really a problem for me. I can bust that out whenever you want.
It is very impressive.
We all
You can
saw me
always just
trying to
get
do
your slang
Slavic
ready.
on Monday.
You always just got to say ain't, you know, like just pepper in some little bits and bobs.
Just a
Lola's
little.
literally crying. She's really pissed about the situation. She is not like this.
Lola is a traditional grammar school supporter.
Yes. A real big fan of the Oxford comma. And I suppose I am the last one. Hello. I'm Vi or Vic or Vicious Frockery. I was your DM tonight. I am roughly 6 eldritch horrors in 6 trench coats.
Hell yeah.
That sounds like a cult.
Didn't we just defeat that in the basement?
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been a huge blast.
Would you
If
say
you would
it's
like
been
to
a
watch-
Baja Blast?
It has been a Baja blast. And I think that's the usual sign off, which is great. Do we have anyone to raid?
We do. We're gonna go raid Captain Robert.
Wonderful.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go raid Captain Robert.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks again.
Good night, everyone.